Let me just ask you a question.
Yes.
You're familiar with the drug bust that went down about 10 days ago, the organization we've been talking about all evening long, Rayful Edmonds' organization.
Yes.
The drugs came from Los Angeles, from the Crips gang. It's a black gang.
You know something? Let me tell you something. This is how it works. You go over there, you get your airplanes, you go over to these other countries, you bring drugs back, you put them into these black neighborhoods. You understand me? People don't, let me tell you something. You know some of your biggest drug dealers in America is sitting right up in New York on Wall Street? Right.
This is the night of the base of public enemy.
Don't try to put the blame on all black people. You know, that's the statistic. That's the lie. See, a lot of video. Just statistics in America is lying on black folks all the time.
Thank you.
You know what? We don't go on airplanes, buses, trains, none of that stuff. You know what? The U.S. government plays a great big part, and it's called genocide in America, and that's what it's about.
Listen to public enemy.
Yes, ma'am. Now, hold on just a second. If we could just hear the mic close enough to you.
General psychiatrist and child psychiatrist here in Washington. And I'm disturbed that the program has gone on for such a long time, talking at the level of the symptom and not talking about the disease itself. But I give you credit because you started out the program talking about the Kerner Commission report. And that was 20 years ago. And President Johnson's report on violence, no less, that the number one cause of violence was racism. And racism is the major problem in this area of the world. It's a major problem on the planet. And yet we have a perfect example in microcosm right here on this program, how we have high government officials who do know, are supposed to know about what's going on, but there was steadfast avoidance of this most critical issue. And as a psychiatrist, I do know that people often avoid, truth is painful. And we don't like to talk about racism. It reminds me of Nazi Germany, because people didn't like to talk about anti-Semitism. Freud couldn't talk about anti-Semitism. So 6 million people who were considered not to be white people, the term Semite means mulatto, and those people were removed because it was a white supremacy system, it was racism, and there was a subconscious attitude about destroying and removing these people.
I'll tell you what, let's take a break. I'm going to come back to you because I'd like to have you explain.
This AI can forecast
What is good, my people? We are live back again with another live broadcast on the forecast. Yo, what's going on, Cassandra? How you doing? You there, Cassandra? You can hear me?
Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm here. I'm sorry. My internet is up. If I'm a little slow or disconnected, I'll call right back and get back in, okay? So y'all
All right,
deal
yeah. You sound clear now. I hear you clear.
Okay, cool. Okay. You're good then.
Yeah, good. So that's what's up. I appreciate you for coming on here. I know it's super early over there.
Oh, that's all good.
Yeah, I
All
mean,
good.
because I definitely wanted somebody on here with me today to talk about this. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, consider we're gonna do something a little bit different. We're just gonna play a certain video. I do want to show you like one thing first, but we're gonna play a certain video, I guess, just to react to it. I couldn't even get through it. I'm gonna be honest with you. Only watch like the first 10 minutes because you'll see.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's too
All the
early for
way
you
up.
forecast.
Oh man, it's hard for me to watch. I already know. Um, but before we do that, consider I want to show you something. Let's do this. And I'll save this one. I was gonna show you this one, but we probably gonna talk about the shysters when we go back to the history thing, so we can skip that right now. But check this out, Cassandra. This white dude is
Okay.
teaching his son about racism using salt and pepper.
Oh wow. Okay. Here we go.
We're gonna put salt on the plate. We're gonna put some pepper on the plate. Now, Kevin, I want you to separate the salt from the pepper and explain the difference. You can't. You can see the difference in color, right? Mm-hmm. But we're all on the same plate, aren't we? Yeah. This is how we should live. No, not at all, boy. There ain't any difference.
No.
There's difference between salt and pepper, but there's no difference when it comes to color. It's all a seasoning, and we all have something to provide. We all have something to offer. So if you can't separate that salt and that pepper on that plate, then there isn't any reason to look at anybody that's a different color or anything like that and think any differently about them, right? Yeah. Amen. Now, normally this dude about to talk, I wouldn't even play him because he'd be saying some weak stuff. As you can see, my man got nail polish and the red beard and all that. But I'm gonna let
Oh my
him.
goodness.
But this time though, I would say I will let him address this song because he showed something that was interesting. So I want to play his part. You see how he
What was
had
he
to.
trying to explain? Racism? Because that's not how this works. Are we just going to leave out the part where the pepper was dragged here by the salt against their will across the Atlantic Ocean and forced for hundreds of years to do the bidding of the salt without having access to the same resources that the salt had access to? And now you want to talk about we're all the same without discussing equity to make up for that 400-year difference or head start that you have. So while we're living amongst each other, that you are able to have access to much better than the pepper has access to. See, that's what's wrong with this country today, and why we're watching conservatives fight critical race theories and accurate history, because we want to teach that the salt has no responsibility to the pepper by whitewashing history. Now, let me show you how to separate salt from pepper on that plate. Let's get it. We're going to put some salt on the plate. Yeah, I have black plates. And we're going to put some pepper on the plate. Now I'm going to separate the two. All right. You get a glass. Get some hot water in your glass. Pour hot water on plate. I could make a metaphor that the hot water is the sun, but I digress. Yeah, you have effectively separated the pepper from the salt. I learned.
So you see that, Cassandra? Even then, you can separate the pepper and the salt. You know, as much as it's blended in
And that's what
together,
it
you can still separate it.
and that's the way it's supposed to be. Period.
Yeah.
They're too dangerous for us to come together with them right now. I mean, and if people don't understand, if you don't see, they need to log on to your history. Okay, you're getting ready to write the history book. Get your history book so you'll understand history and see how dangerous so you don't forget. Because we're never supposed to forget anyway. And I think we have. We've forgotten, but we're getting ready to find out. You just had a whole president that went over to a whole nation who's supposed to be their own boss, right? And went in there and kidnapped the people, which is illegal, and took the man's oil. Rather, whatever's going on in that country is nothing to do with America, right? But he did what he usually do, steal, kill, and destroy. So now he didn't kidnap the man and his wife, then took him somewhere, which is what they usually do, kidnap. They kidnapped us and stole our land, right? And stole everything, the culture, the land, the history, everything, right? And talking about drugs. You know they ain't got nothing to do with that, right? But that's what they do. So this is why you can't live with them. Come from among, be ye separate and learn not. That's what we were commanded to do. So we forget that. Then you have folk like, what's the dude that died by the white girl and he got off because he didn't want a black dog, he wanted a white one, and that's the one that killed him. Okay, you have incidences like that. The Nigeria, the OnlyFans, You have incidences like that who got murdered by his white girlfriend. See what I'm saying? So we can never forget how dangerous they are. So I don't know what he's trying to teach, but if it was me, I'd have had to salt and pepper and I'd have had a divider. This is how we're supposed to be. We're never supposed to come over there, come to them. We're never supposed to mix and mingle. Never supposed to mix our seeds. The only reason they're mixing your seed now is because they need you. That's the only way. That's the only reason they're mixing their seed now, because they're gonna wipe you out later. Because they can't survive. They need you right now. So now we cool. Come on, mix this white and the salt and the pepper together. No, they up to something. Because they don't never come to share. They come to take over. And I'm gonna rest with that.
Yeah, exactly. Shouts out to my brother Bakari in the building. Appreciate you for coming through, my brother. Shouts out to my brother right there. So, and before we get to the main thing, consider
What's up,
you know,
Bakari?
yeah. Speaking of what you were saying, just when the salt and the pepper go together, I just wanted to play this a
Have
little
to play
bit.
some tricks to make it look like they are not
The lynching thing.
in support of it. But stay good. Let's get into this video.
The lynching thing had a particular relevance to you because, in fact, you actually witnessed the lynching, didn't you?
I did, as a matter of fact. I was 11, 12 years old, I guess, in Omaha. And my father's printing business was on the second floor of a building that overlooked the courthouse square in Omaha. And he came home one night and told about this lynch mob that had started to form during the afternoon. And after supper, he put me in the car with him. We drove back downtown, and it was very unusual for me, for my dad to be taking me at my age and turning lights on and unlocking doors and going up the stairs, which is unusual. You know, it's not like doing it in the daytime. And I remember those physical things and walking across this empty office.
I should probably wait before I even play that, but I play it anyway. Forget it.
To the window, a window that overlooked the courthouse square, and this was where the riot was happening. My father never talked about it. He never.
Yeah, I know you'd be sleeping, Bakari. I know.
We're observers, and I watched,
But that's the thing, though, Bakari. It'd be late here. I was almost ready to go to sleep, but it's like Weapon Consider is what 7 in the morning or something. I think it's 7 over there.
Oh, it's 6:45. 6:45.
Yes. It's super early.
9 hours ahead.
Yeah. So shit, don't worry about it, my brother. I think I'm starting to get old too. I was about to go to sleep. I'm glad because Caesar texted me when she did. But yeah, so let me finish.
Out of control mob of several hundred men drag a young black boy out of the jail in the courthouse, overpowered the sheriff to get him out, strung him up on a lamppost, riddled him with bullets, dragged him around back of a car, something like that. The mayor, this is how long we did have automobiles, but the mayor, for some reason or other, was on.
What'd you say?
So they didn't overpower the sheriff. The sheriff was in on that mess back in the day. Why do they keep trying to act like the sheriff is innocent? They the one had the key, right? They the one had the key. But go ahead, I'm arrested there. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Horseback, evidently because he could get into the courthouse square away from the streets easier. He was on horseback trying to stop this. They damn near lynched the mayor. That's how out of control these bastards can get. That's as Lincoln says in that scene. And he points to somebody. He's a God-fearing man. And what is he doing here? And I'm sure when he gets home, he's going to take down the good book. Mm. And it was a traumatic experience for me. I'll never forget it.
Must have had a profound effect on you. Why did your father do that?
Well, he never told me, but I would like to think that he realized that it would be a lesson. I had to grow up and move away from Omaha to appreciate that my father was a liberal Democrat in a hotbed of Republican reactionaries. It's Omaha and Nebraska still is.
Right. See, they He already brought it
I'm
up,
just
but
talking about the lynching of Will Brown in Omaha, Nebraska during the race riot of 1919, which would later be called the Red Summer. Will Brown was a 41-year-old black man living in Omaha, Nebraska.
all right, and that's the story of I guess that's who he said who he saw the lynching was of him. And that's the famous one where they got him at the fire tied up and they smiling taking pictures with him and whatnot. But I think I was supposed to play
Oh,
that one later.
yeah. That's, yeah.
Yeah, because the subject come up as like
It's okay.
KKK and like people be like, that's a Democrat Republican thing, but he's seen it brought up.
No,
But
that's a
before we
white
get,
person thing.
huh?
That's a white person thing. Ain't no Republican or Democrat. I mean,
Right.
it's all of them.
Yeah, it's all of them. It's American thing.
Exactly.
But speaking of that, so I don't know if you saw this.
Hey, so I just wanted to give you guys some great news to make your day better. George Zimmerman cannot find a job nor a place to stay. And he has been OD struggling for the past 5 years. Financially, mentally, and spiritually. And also he can't find peace anywhere he goes. People try to run the faith with him outside everywhere he goes. So if you were having a bad day, just wanted to put a smile on your face with that one, alright? Hey, so I just want
So he's saying everywhere George Zimmerman, he can't find nowhere to stay. He can't everywhere he go, people is I guess whooping his ass. I guess.
Good, good, good. I hope he continues have an amazing life. I hope he continues having the life he deserves.
Does he deserve one at
Oh,
all? Is the question though. That's the thing.
exactly. Hey, I'm just saying, if you got to be breathing, okay, because ain't nobody got the nerves to do nothing, then let you have the life that you deserve. Okay.
And this last
If
one
you
I
got
gotta
to be
show you.
breathing.
This last one I got to show you because I showed this before and this happened in my city. Like I know somebody who's seen this white bitch before, like who be working at hospitals and stuff like that. But I know you remember before with this white nurse that was
Oh
breaking the
yeah.
baby's bones and stuff. You remember that?
Yeah. And they let her go back to work. Yeah, and they let her go back to work, right?
That I
Yeah.
have to be here to show up for my son for the rest of the 2023 babies because somebody abused our children.
Dominic Hackey sat in the Henrico courtroom Wednesday as the Commonwealth's attorney urged the circuit court judge to keep Aaron Strotman in jail. Strotman is charged in connection with injuries one baby at Henrico Doctors Hospital sustained on November 10th of 2024. Hospital officials say 3 babies in the neonatal intensive care unit were found with unexplained fractures in November and December of last year, and say the cases are similar to injuries suffered by other infants during the summer of 2020.
Now this is the hospital that my sister was born at.
23.
She ain't come out with no broken bones, did she?
No.
Crazy. And they still let her out to work around baby.
Yeah, so and this was 7 months ago when they arrested her. After they arrested her,
30 minutes. We found
while
out
she was in jail.
Aaron Strotman's family, they wanted the judge to modify her bond to allow her to visit with her niece and nephew. Watch what happened next.
Only CBS 6
Why?
photojournalist Miles Black captured
That's a
Aaron
good
Strotman
question.
returning to the Henrico Circuit
They
Court.
should have beat her ass right then and there before she got to court. They should have been waiting on her right there. And they should have broke all her bones. So now you can go to court in the gurney, in a wheelchair. That's right there when they should have got her. They should have been waiting on her right there. Right there. And let's go to court now with your broken bones.
Yeah, it's
See,
crazy.
this is why they keep doing what they do to us. Because we don't never do nothing. We don't never retaliate. We don't never have nothing to say. We won't have nothing to, we just, well, God gonna take care of it. Okay, well, what if he's waiting on you to take care of it? I'm just saying. Because he said he helped them or we helped themselves, don't he? Right? Okay, so what we waiting on? Why we always waiting on him when he told you to handle your business?
Yeah, that's a good
She don't
question.
keep on breaking the baby's arms. She don't keep on breaking arms because they're gonna let her ass out and put her right back in the hospital to work around your black babies. Because that's what they like. They like stuff like this. They're not there to protect your child. But I'm arrested with that. Go ahead.
No, yeah,
Where she previously worked.
I'll
She
show
faces
you.
20 charges, including child abuse and malicious wounding. During a status hearing Wednesday morning, Strotman's sister-in-law testified, saying she's a board-certified behavioral analyst and a mandated reporter to CPS, and asked the judge to allow Aaron's niece and nephew to visit their grandparents' home for a supervised visit. As part of her bond, Strotman was not to have any contact with children. The sister-in-law testified that her two children are Aaron's best friends and missed her aunt, while the defense argued.
So she wasn't even in jail. She was at home and on house arrest. And of course, the judge be like, "Oh yeah, we can let her
At
do
home
what she wants to do."
enjoying her life.
Be released from
Without any broken bones. At home enjoying her life without any broken bones. Just enjoying her life.
Yeah.
But go ahead, I'm gonna rest with that one.
All right. So now this is the most recent thing on that.
So earlier this year, there was a case involving a former Virginia NICU nurse, right? Her name is Erin Elizabeth Ann Stroman. Now, Erin Elizabeth Ann Stroman is white. You see? Now, earlier this year, she was convicted. She was convicted for the alleged abuse. It wasn't alleged anymore. It was now a fact. She, in fact, was abusing these NICU babies, these newborns that were in her care, right? Which resulted in her getting her nursing license suspended, and she was facing 20 criminal charges, okay? Now, we are not sure, we are unsure of how many children, how many newborns were actually abused by this former NICU nurse. However, 9 families stepped forward demanding justice. Now, let me get into the abuse that Stoneman subjected these newborns to. Okay, now reading from an article that you can find on nurse.org. Okay, and the title of the article is Nurse Abused Premature NICU Babies. There's one detail that they're leaving out, but I'll be sure to add that in, okay? And a lot of the abuse was actually caught on film. It was. And I'm reading from the article that I just told you where you could go and find it, right? It states right here that one clip shows her bending the baby's legs forcefully towards his neck, falling while holding him and applying significant pressure to the infant's torso. In another video, it actually shows her twisting an infant's head and putting pressure on their torso. And because of the repeated actions of this disgusting human being, you understand, it reportedly led to drops in vital signs of the infants. It led to intensive injuries such as fractures, rib damage. Other injuries reported also includes bruising on the chest, finger-shaped bruising, when you're strangling or pressing firmly, applying too much pressure, mishandling captured on video, fractures. She literally was snapping these babies' limbs and their bones like it was twigs. In one incident involving twins, the abuse was so significant, it was so severe that it resulted in the tragic death of the twins. And remember how I said that there was a piece of information that they were leaving out? All of the babies were Black. All of the babies were Black. And you see that same despicable, disgusting excuse for a human being, Erin Elizabeth Ann Stroman, right? Snapping the bones of newborn Black babies. Yeah, she just got released on a $25,000 bond.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for telling us.
You know the only reason why she got released is because she was doing
Let's go snap her bones.
It was
Let's
Black.
go snap some bones. What we waiting on? What we waiting on? They don't learn until we do unto them what they do unto us.
Yeah.
They are the most dangerous. Besides their white men, they are the most dangerous. But this is why she gonna keep doing it. They only gave her $25,000 bond. They didn't even though she killed a baby. That's murder, right? But she's still out of jail. Let's see what how the court's gonna handle that. That's what you do. Go ahead and see how the court's gonna handle it. So when the courts don't do what they supposed to do, then you're supposed to handle your business. Mothers. I don't know why these mamas so calm. I don't. Because I'd have been up there right there with her. Because she'd have been in the wheelchair with her broken bones, and I'd have been arraigned next. Because I'd have went and broke hers. I gave her the same treatment that she gave them babies. So now put us in the same jail cell. How about that?
Yeah.
I'm just saying. When we gonna get mad about this? When we gonna do something about it? When we gonna stop allowing the law to be handled when they don't handle them correctly? It's a whole baby died, and she at home, and she did murder this baby, and they know she did it. Okay, I'm arrested.
Yeah, on
That's
camera
crazy.
doing it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Ain't no telling how many babies she done broke, because you don't have a record of the ones previously that came out of the hospital with broken stuff, and they don't. Well, we don't know how it happened. Oh, you know how it happened because you hired a deranged demon, because that's what she is, a demon. And what do you do to demons? You slay demons. But I'm gonna rest with that one. Go ahead. These innocent babies.
Yeah, it's crazy. Um,
They have an
uh,
innocent life, come to the world and got all this pain. And you know you're in the NICU unit and what? You don't know how long, because some of them babies was in critical condition, right? She's in a premature unit. So that means she was doing it continuously. So them babies trying to get better, she in there abusing them. Now that's a demon. But there ain't nobody gonna do nothing about it, huh? Okay. Go ahead and let her out. Let her release her. Release her. Because that day that they let her out of court, that should have been handled. That should have been handled then.
yeah,
But
she
I'm gonna
probably be
rest with
walking.
that.
She probably be walking
Yeah.
around like Zimmerman, you know.
Yeah. And then
Uh,
you want your sister, you want that kid, your sister to hang around your kids. You would have gone crazy. That lady, she wouldn't get around, she wouldn't dare be around nobody's children, not even my own.
yeah.
But it's okay though. Go ahead. I'm gonna rest with that.
Nah. It's just, it's crazy, Um, and we just gonna go to the main topic, I guess. So let's just do that. All right.
Black people as a community.
All right, so we just gonna watch this, right? Like I said, I only got through 10 minutes, right? Because I get it, I don't get it. I'm gonna be real. I don't get it. The fact that we are so weak as hell, you know what I'm saying? That I don't know, like, cause I've been saying the same thing for so long. Like, we're gonna be slaves forever. Like, I'm like, we are gonna be slaves forever. Like, just looking at the way that Black people process information and process stuff, like our unwillingness to do what we got to do, it just makes me sad because, like, I see that we're gonna be slaves for a long time, unless something happens where everything starts from scratch again or something. But anyway.
Need to walk away from the Democratic Party.
So, and consider, I'm gonna just play as much as we can to this, and then you can jump in whenever you want, and we'll go until we get off of here because it's long. So I know we ain't gonna get through the whole thing anyway.
All right. So, like I said, I identify as liberal, not necessarily a Democrat. I personally believe that both parties, they thrive by us, like, kind of puppeteering, like, back and forth division and kind of tearing people down. And it's more of like the people in power don't want us to listen to each other. So that goes for Republicans and Democrats. So I think that both parties need to listen to their people more. So I do think that instead of having a hive mind and saying like, kind of like being in these like, it almost kind of feels like the Bloods and the Crips. Like it's very intense, right? Like instead of that, I think that we should vote issue by issue. And like, maybe that doesn't mean that we're in the Democratic Party. Maybe that means that we form an independent party. Maybe it's, I just don't think that any person should say, I'm part of this gang or this gang or this club or this club. Like, I think we should use our critical thinking skills to choose which party or to vote on which candidate.
Now, I will say it's getting serious now, but that would like I started this channel like 10 years ago because I was like, oh, it's getting serious. And then the people did what they did 10 years before me because it was getting serious, At some point though, um, some kind of political awareness has to start growing within us. And I know we're going to disagree on issues and stuff like that. But one thing that we cannot afford to disagree on is that we are separated with each other. You know what I'm saying? Because as I don't know how much to tell you this, but um, yeah, Bakari, that's what we're saying. We've been talking survival thing for a long time now. You know what I'm saying? The water, and I ain't gonna act like I got everything that I was supposed to get. But I got what is necessary. The canned foods and stuff like that. The water, and we've been saying this for a long time. Like I personally been saying this for a long time. But the point is, right, we had a long time, we had so many opportunities to build protections amongst ourselves, you know what I'm saying, to build things up to where we can look out for each other. A part of why I wanted to start that group before was so that we can have funds and stuff for when we need medical stuff. We was like, Bakar, you talk about black businesses, all of these things. We talk about the black hospitals and supporting black doctors and all of these stuff for when the inevitable happens. The problem is black people was never gonna pop it off. Ever, ever, ever. You know what I'm saying? And we was gonna always be perpetual slaves. We still probably won't pop it off at all, but I don't know. But the point is, we've been saying for a long time, right, that there may be other avenues that we have to do that's amongst each other and amongst ourselves to quote unquote pull ourselves up by our own bootstraps, I guess.
Candidate is going to best advocate for our people.
I mean, I just think it fundamentally destroys the concept of politics if any political party is entitled to a group of people's votes. The point is that the candidates have to earn what it is that our vote from us, and I don't think that any political party should expect any group of people to always vote for them. And I mean, if we look, Black people still have a lot of issues in this country, and we've been voting Democrat faithfully. So I don't really see, what's the point of that party loyalty. But I also just think that there's an issue with the two-party system altogether, and everyone would benefit from not having so much party loyalty, and us fundamentally not having a two-party system anymore across the board.
I think for me, the reason I would love to see the Black community remove itself from the Democrat Party is because I personally, I really think that the Democrat Party intentionally harms the Black community. I really feel like a lot of the policies that they've put in play have down the line been a negative overall for the Black community than a positive. And I actually do think that if you look at Black history, we align more with conservative values overall. The Black church especially aligns with conservative values. So I do think, I hear what you're saying, that we shouldn't be loyal to any party, but I think if most Black people were to look at each party ideologically, they would skew more conservative.
But you're talking about the Black.
Now, consider and see, this is where experience come in, right? Because then you have people like First Rifleman. He didn't even know that talking point, right? He was like, oh, he tried to tell me and Bakari this. Well, we would align more with the conservative thing. He didn't even know why that would be. It's because you supposed to I want the government out of my business, you know what I'm saying, as far as especially Black people go. The problem is they are full of they full of it, and they are what they accuse everybody. They call everybody Marxist, but they're the real Marxists because they want to control everything. You know what I'm saying? They want the government. They the ones who want to stop and frisk and all this other stuff. They ain't conserving nothing. They want all of these public, all this money to go towards, killing us, I guess. So what she's saying is some BS. And you can jump in anytime too, consider. I'm just playing it. It's probably going to get to
church, which is not Black people.
No.
So
I'm talking about the Black community, and I'm just specifying that the Black church is part of a more conservative group within the Black community, but I do think that Black people in general have more conservative values.
But it goes back to that point of where we're fundamentally, once again, getting rid of the point of politics, which is no one should be entitled. So even if you're thinking that Black people generally align more with conservatives, that's still saying that conservatives then, it should just that the loyalty to one party should shift to conservatives, which I don't think should be an entitlement at all.
And I think we need to remember why so many people, I'm from.
Because consider it, like, I get that sometimes people say that or accuse. It's just like when I say something against the Republicans or something, they'll call you a Democrat, but when you say something against them, they'll call you that. But the point is, we have our own situation, right? Where we have to start putting our energy into ourselves because no help is ever going to come, right? We're the only ones that's going to support each other, that's going to put money behind us. We get that, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of Black people did come on here and say, and listen, if you on some yes, our loyalty should be to ourselves and ourselves only, to Black people only. And yes, that's Black people globally. But consider, like, we had a lot of Black people that are politically unaware, you know what I'm saying, or politically ignorant. And yeah, if you be supporting Trump, like, you a damn coon, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was trying to tell the mulatto girl that
You're a
I
damn
knew,
fool. How about that?
you a damn fool. Yeah, you a damn fool. I had to convince Black people that this dude is a race, like, not like the fact that they think that Trump is not racist towards Black people, and they'll argue with you about this, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Look at his
so
policy.
anybody.
Look at what he's doing. Why do we have to? Okay, well, even with that being said, neither party, neither party has done anything for Black people. Now, if you have to argue that, then something's wrong with that person. Why do I have to tell you something? Now, information is out there. You can look it up and tell me one thing before you tell me that the Democratic Party, it was good for Black people. Tell me one thing they've done just for Black people. That's all I want you to do. Tell me one thing they've done just for. Out of all the time, the Democratic and the Dixiecrats, they had to change their names. Why did they have to change their names? Okay, because they was the Dixiecrats at first, right? Then they changed to the Democrats. Why did they have to change their names? Tell me one thing, even when they were the other party that they changed their name from, what did they do for Black people? They've done nothing in the Republican Party nor the Democratic Party. I believe we need our own political party. I don't believe we need to trust old white folk who's 70, 80 and walking in dementia, who's walking in the 1900s to think that they're going to do something for you is ridiculous. They've never done anything for Black people, and they're not going to start now. So you wait and see. We ain't seen nothing yet. We're getting ready to get into some really good stuff within the next 4 years. Well, he got 3 more years to go. Oh, you ain't seen nothing yet. Just hold on, Black folks. Get your popcorn, because it's going to affect you within the next 3 years. I guarantee you it. Your job, they already laid off 300,000 Black women, right? During the Republican Party. I'm just saying, that's the start. They get ready to shut the government down again. The end of January. I'm just saying. Are you ready? I guarantee you people that didn't have food stamps that got caught off a month ago, 2 months ago, I guarantee you they didn't do anything to improve their lives. And they didn't do anything to make sure that this don't happen again, that when it does happen, that they're not hungry, that their children are going to be hungry, that they got enough water, they got enough canned goods. I guarantee you they didn't do anything to improve that. They got them stamps and they forgot. They celebrated Christmas, they forgot. When are we as Black folk going to do anything different for ourselves? When we do suggest it, you come up with people talk about, well, you know, they did that back in the day. Every time we celebrate, every time we do something, they come and destroy it. Okay, so you're going to stop trying? What are you going to do different to make sure that the next time they come, they don't destroy it? Let's talk about that. Well, I know I can put some things in place for you. I can think of a couple things that we need to put in place that'll stop them in their tracks. But we won't do that because we don't want to make white folk mad. We don't want to let, we don't want them to think that we don't want to be around them. Oh, I want them to know I don't want to be around them. I want them to know it without a doubt that this Black woman here don't want to have nothing to do with them. And I show them as often as I can. And I tell them too, because I don't want to have nothing to do with them. But I'm gonna rest with that.
Yeah, and Bakari said Cassandra is more than that now. 300K was the first 3 months.
Okay,
So
even with that, that's even worse.
mhm.
That's even
Yeah.
worse. That is more. Oh, Black women have master's degrees. They have business degrees. They have degrees that they can go out and do for self. But what did they create? They're still waiting, probably looking for another job. Why? You just had a job that let you go after 20 years or 25 years of working for them. One lady said she worked for the state 30 years. What did you do? Are you doing anything different? Are you creating your own business? Are you creating something that we need that's a service? Because that's all you got to do is create a service. But no, you was comfortable working for the government, thinking you was going to work there forever. But he just showed you. He just showed you by shutting it down. What did you do different? Or what are you doing different? Or what are you doing so that you won't be hungry when he shut this government down again at the end of this month? Okay, I'm gonna rest with that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I hate to say it though, but sometimes peckers, crackers, whatever you want to call them, have to show you who they are, right? And that sometimes may be necessary to stop this. I ain't gonna say laziness because it's not laziness. It's more cowardice. You know what I'm saying? That we have that we don't realize that. And one thing that it gets on my nerves. I'm not gonna lie. When people be like, oh, our ancestors died for a right to, like, no, like it's for. First of all, they was murdered. You know what I'm saying? And second, it was for representation. You know what I mean? Because you got to think about it. At the time where Black people was doing this, they had Black towns where the Black uh elected officials was making decisions in Black cities, and it wasn't this, you know uh, anyway, we're gonna talk about a lot of the stuff that she was just saying, because I only listened to like 5 more minutes of this, but I know they brought up some of the stuff you said, so we'll get into the stuff that y'all talking about.
Birmingham, Alabama. And so the reason why my family never votes Republican is they remember why the map flipped, right? The map flipped because they're like, oh my gosh, they're going to give rights to Black people. And so then all
But
of
that was
those
the Democrat Party.
I
Right,
know.
that was the Democrat Party.
Like if you think about, like, I went to the University of Alabama.
Me too. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, right? But they weren't letting Black people the then, like,
The Southern Democrats.
The Southern
Yeah, they were.
Democrats
It's the
at the
Southern
time,
Democrats, which are now Republicans.
who are now Republicans. They were not
All
letting,
of them, all of them
like,
doing
they
it.
supported not letting African Americans, Black people, go into the University of Alabama, right? So my grandma remembers when all of that was happening. My dad went to the University of Alabama right afterwards, and he said that he felt like a germ. He feels all of that racism.
I felt like it there then.
Yeah. And so that's why so many people, like Black people, don't, especially in the South, don't vote Republican, even though my family, like, even I probably am more moderate, but at the end of the day, my family, they're conservative. I'm Catholic, right? Like, but focusing on the social justice issue, like, that's the reason why when I hold my nose and I vote for, like, the party that I vote for, because at the end of the day, when I look at the policy.
Now, see, and the thing is, right, and I guess I shouldn't have to say this, right, but I guess I
The dumbest
do.
thing I ever heard.
Yeah, I don't know why you talking about holding your nose, but like
That's the
but
dumbest thing I ever heard.
I agree. Well, no, she gonna say more dumb stuff. So I heard dumber stuff. She gonna say this young lady in particular. But even the other women there had to start checking her. Saying, well, from what I seen, like they checked her a little bit. Um, okay, my brother Bukari is backstage. Let's see. Yo, what's going on, Bukari?
What's going on? What's up, Cassandra? What's up in the chat?
What's
It's been a
up?
long time. Man, you be coming on too late, man. Normally I be
Yeah,
in
I'm
fell
surprised
asleep.
you up
I'm
now,
fight.
bro.
Yeah, I'm about to go to sleep. I'm gonna be on here for 2 minutes. I turn you on, I listen, and I fall asleep with you on. I'm just being honest with you. That's what I do. But anyway, anyway, when Cassandra was talking about how many black professional women have lost jobs, right? So here's the thing. Now we do know the nursing field. A lot of black women was in the nursing field, right? You saw what they just did. You
Absolutely.
saw what they did. You saw what they just did with
I
the
did.
nursing field, right? They cutting it out.
Absolutely.
You can't
And they're
even.
not done. And they're not
Yep,
done.
yep. You can't even get You won't even be able to get loans to go to school, or whatever, to be a nurse anymore.
Yep. What you gonna do about it, black people? This is the
So
time that we're supposed to be preparing.
and that yeah, and that's the thing. Everything they're doing is clearly, and they letting you know they're trying to attack you. And when I hear people talking about, yeah, we should be conservative. No, we should be.
Okay, so what are the Democrats doing to counteract
We
that, though? It's not just the
we should
Republicans.
be.
What are the Democrats doing to counteract that?
I, I'm not saying it's just Republicans. I was saying we should be black. That's what our loyalty. That's what our loyalty lies. Our loyalty lies supposed to lie with us, right? And that's the thing. And we haven't figured that out. See, we're searching, and we'll jump party line,
Well, how
party
long it's
line.
gonna take? How long it's gonna take for us to search? We've been searching for a long time. How long it's gonna take? How long do it
I
take?
don't know how long it's
I
gonna. I
mean,
don't
I'm
know
just
how long it's
saying.
gonna take.
We
I
keep
don't know
going
how
back and
long it's
forth.
gonna. I don't know how long it's gonna take them to search, but how long it's going. But it's not just in the political field in which we are
Right.
searching for which one of them is better, and which one of
Right.
them is going to treat us better, and which one of them is, because our whole thing is to be accepted, right? We ain't
Hey, but don't we
that would
know?
be
Okay, wait,
that would be.
hold on. Okay,
Let me
sorry.
let me
Yeah,
finish.
yeah. Hold on. Let him
Let
finish.
me finish.
Let him finish real quick. Because
Because see, I think that's when black folks is talking, when they talk reparations. I don't think white folks don't have to give black folk reparations. White folks, only thing white folks have to tell a lot of these black folks who screaming reparation is, I accept you and I love you, right? And my thing is, like, I really don't do social media no more. I don't be on there a lot, but when I'm on it, I don't hear anyone pushing. I don't hear any of these black people pushing Jasmine Crockett, and Jasmine Crockett has stood up and said loud, the first step of reparations, because she's running for Congress now. The first
Oh,
step in
come on,
reparations is,
Bakari.
but
Come on,
let me
Bakari.
finish. Consider, can I please
Bakari.
let me consider? Well, look, I'm
Okay,
gonna tell
okay.
you
I'm
something.
gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go
We
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
we live in this world, and we live here. And you can do taxation without representation, or you can have someone who's gonna stand up and say we need African Americans shouldn't have to pay no taxes in this country, and that's one of the things that she's fighting for. We shouldn't have to, with everything
Who's
that has happened to us.
continuously to argue for for the immigrants too, right? Isn't she fussing, talking about immigrants too?
Cassandra,
More of her conversation has been about immigrants than black people.
Cassandra, I don't care what other people get. My concern is me. My concern is me. Whatever other people
But you
get,
ain't get
that's what
nothing.
they get. Okay, Cassandra, I ain't gonna go down that road. I ain't, cause I don't know why you've been trying to. Why we've been talking. But I'm not concerned with what other people get. Whatever they get, I'm concerned about what we can get. I'm not looking to say, oh, they gave them this. No, I'm more concerned about what we can get and what we can do with what we get. I ain't concerned about them. If they got some, oh well, they got some. But what we gonna do with what we get? Because in this country, don't care who it is, saying I'm gonna just do something for black people, it's political suicide, and it ain't gonna happen. It's sad to say, but it's just not, and that's just a fact. So we have to just look and see whatever we get, what we gonna do with what we get.
Well, Bakari, can I ask you a question? Because this come up in a second. I know you got to get off of here. But So by you saying that, when you saying that, well, that's never gonna happen. They're never gonna be able to do something for black people. So my question is, why would you support something if somebody's
That ain't what
saying
I
they can't
said.
do? Not,
I didn't
oh,
say they won't do nothing for
okay,
black people. I said they ain't gonna do
okay.
nothing for black people. Just black people is what I said. That's what I said. They're not gonna do anything just
Okay,
for
then
black
why vote
people.
for them?
This,
But they do
so I
stuff
can.
just for
What is it?
other people. Does that not
But see,
bother you?
so I can. It's my thing. It's not whether something bother me or not.
Okay.
It's about, okay. Look, this the thing. I'm gonna look at it like a job, right? You get up and go to work. Forecast who make the most money on your job. You don't know who make the most money. You would do work next to you, right?
Mhm.
But are you concerned about his check, or are you concerned about what you can do with yours?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, Bakari, because I know the white dude in the office making the most money and he ain't doing shit, and I got a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? And I know personally, like, if the person next to me is making X, and I know they making more than me, I'm not gonna be doing more than them. Like, yeah, I'm concerned about my check, but then I realize, like, damn, why the hell am I working all of these hours and this dude ain't doing half of the stuff I'm doing,
So,
and he's
so let
getting
me.
it.
So, did you ask him? Did he tell you how much money he was making, or you believe he making more money?
No,
I ain't
well,
talking about the dude in the office. I said the
yeah.
dude working out there with you on the floor, out there doing what you do, whatever it is you do, driving a
Hmm.
truck, whatever it is you do. You
Hmm.
don't know who make the most money, right?
But
Well,
society
I
has
do.
shown us that they're making more money. The society that we live in
Okay.
has shown us that they're making more money than you.
Well,
Well,
I'm just
I'm gonna
saying,
be honest.
you
Well,
still sitting up there telling us to hold on to a Democratic Party.
I'm not
hold,
trying
hold
to.
on,
Oh,
hold
who
on.
said anything
That's
about a
ridiculous,
Democrat?
Bakari.
Who said
Yeah,
anything about a Democrat?
But wait a minute,
Nobody
you
said
hold
said,
on.
hey,
anything about a
but wait,
Democrat.
I'm gonna tell you. Wait, but you said Jasmine Crockett, she is Democrat. I'm just saying,
Yes,
you just
I
said it.
repeated.
Because you said
I
Jasmine
repeated.
Crockett.
I repeated what
Hold on,
she
hold on.
said about how African Americans should not have to pay taxes. So you don't agree with that. So you don't agree with African Americans shouldn't have to pay
Okay, wait a
taxes.
minute. So what you're saying, when you're saying that, are you telling me, now I'm gonna clarify something. Are you telling me to go ahead and vote for her because she said that?
I ain't telling you nothing. I've been stopped trying to tell black people to vote. I don't care what y'all
Man,
do.
so what
Hold,
I'm
are you
hold
gonna
on, hold
say,
on,
saying?
hold on.
I'm gonna say what I said again. You
And
say
say
you
it
want
again. It's
somebody
gonna
to
mean the same thing, but go
you
ahead.
okay, good. You want somebody to mention you. You have somebody who mention you and say you shouldn't even pay taxes. And what I said is, do you agree with that? I don't care whether you vote
Mhm.
for her or not. I can't vote
Well,
for her. She in Texas. I can't
well,
vote
yeah,
for
But
her.
that's what
hold
I'm
on, your
That's
saying.
my
thing
point.
got
Either
All
either
right,
you
hold on,
agree
hold
with
on.
mention
it
you
or
or
you
not.
don't.
She's in the
All
Senate.
right, hold
She's
on,
in the
y'all, hold
Either
Senate
on,
you
right
agree with it or you don't.
now.
Either
hold
you
on,
Let's
agree
y'all,
go
with it or
there.
you don't.
hold on, y'all, hold on,
Let
hold
me
on,
just
That's
tell
simple.
you.
hold on, cause hold
No, I
on, real
don't
quick.
agree with her. And I'm gonna
Yeah,
tell
cause
Okay,
you why I
look,
don't agree with her.
well, y'all should keep
But go
paying
ahead.
taxes then. So don't say nothing about that's my point. Don't say nothing about
no, hold
reparations.
on, Bakari. No, look,
That's my
Bakari,
point.
Bakari, hold on, cause
Are you missing the point?
no, hold on, consider, hold on, y'all, time out, right, all right, now, cause we talked about and I don't want to talk about Jasmine Crockett too much because, like, you know, like it is true, like a lot of coons and like races and all of that stuff. But we show I even showed the video of her saying that, you know what I'm saying, which came from before. It didn't come from now. But if she stands on that, we should, like, me and Cassandra was on here. And I showed that whole thing, you know, because we did a whole thing on Jasmine Crockett. You probably was asleep at that point because that was like at the end of one, you know what I'm saying? But Bakari, it's sometimes like when you be saying it, you know, it's not necessarily like it's not one of her. This is something that she had said a long time ago, right? When before a lot of, I'm not gonna go into the Jasmine
But
Crockett
actually,
thing right now. We
this something
can't.
she just said again as she run for Congress. And this is my thing. Like I said, I don't care who vote for what. But if somebody saying, only thing I asked was, do you think you should pay taxes? That's all I asked. And if you think you should pay taxes, okay. If you're against someone saying African Americans shouldn't pay taxes, that ain't my fault. That ain't that. I absolutely agree. No black folks should be paying taxes.
So
I absolutely agree. No black people should be paying
okay,
taxes.
okay. Even with that point, no black folk. That's what I'm gonna say. That's not enough because she's been in her position For
This
how
her
long
first
now?
term.
And have not.
This her first
Okay,
term.
okay,
This is her first
okay,
term.
okay. Let me say, what has she put on the table since she said that? Did she even move and do that, or she just said? So because she said it, we're gonna run it and we're gonna support her because she said it. But she's been in that position first term. But what has she done with her first term? That's
Well,
what
but
we're gonna go by. We're not gonna go by what she's saying now. We're gonna go by what we see her doing. What I see her
she's
doing is standing up for
she,
immigrants.
she's not in Congress right now. She's in Senate, but I've heard her
Whatever
stand up.
she's in a position now that she can do something, right? She's in a position right now that she can do something. But I see her doing absolutely nothing because she said
No.
one
Okay.
thing.
Okay, look, okay, Bakari, I'll put it like this, right? Some people would have a problem because, like, it seems like some. Now, I wouldn't say you are, but a lot of that stuff is like they seem to be more a Democrat first, not black first, not whatever. It seems to be a Democrat thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
Who
and
seemed to be Democrat first?
like people like Jasmine Crockett and stuff
Oh,
like that. They're
the same woman that
uh
says she's highly disappointed with the Democratic Party and the way they have treated African Americans, and she's leaning toward becoming
yeah.
independent.
Oh, well, she's not. Well, she's not running as a. She's not leaning towards running as an independent. She's running as a Democrat.
Okay.
She
The
has
same
like a
person
whole
that has
thing. I was just showing like that's what I'm saying. We was just showing her like the fight for the whole immigration thing. You know, the fight for like a lot of things that's like quite. And I'm gonna be honest. I don't necessarily like the whole like um you know that whole thing where she just I don't want to say that because you know like it could be misconstrued because I'm not looking at it as like the same way as a coon as like the coon dudes be saying like trying to take up like because she pisses off a lot of white dudes, you know what I'm saying, like trolling them and saying certain stuff, you know. But I don't know, Bakari, I'm just saying, but
I'm gonna say that my neighbors are Haitian and they are immigrants.
But she's doing that
So
to get your vote.
the only immigrant, the only Hispanics or whoever, they are not the only immigrants. They are not the only immigrants.
Bakari,
There's black
We know
immigrants
that.
here too, and there's black immigrants that's being
We
affected by
understand that,
all this
Bakari.
too. So,
yes,
We understand
and
that. So what's your point?
but
What's the
Bakari,
point?
and that's the
look,
thing,
what
and
I'm
it's
gonna
not
do.
about
Look. This is my thing, bro. Look, I'm gonna say
mhm,
again. I don't care. I don't tell nobody. I don't care who
yeah.
folks vote for. People can do whatever the hell they want to do. But when somebody do mention you, when you claim
Okay.
don't nobody mention you, when you claim don't nobody mention you,
Damn, you
and
mentioned
then
me.
someone,
I
and
didn't
then
say mention me.
and
I
then
said do.
and then
There's a difference in mentioning
I'm not
somebody and doing for somebody. That's
I'm not gonna
totally different
and
things.
and and
You
Hold
and,
talking
on,
and,
about
and,
her
hold on,
mentioning.
consider,
and
hold on,
I
hold
and,
on.
and I have no idea where all this anger is coming from toward me. But anyway,
No,
but anyway,
you should be mad about. Okay, it's not. It has nothing to do with anger. Let's just put that out there. It may
I should be
sound
mad
rough,
about
but
what?
it has nothing to do
What I
with
should be
anger. I'm sick of seeing what I'm seeing. That's what I guess it's frustration. How about that? It's not anger, not towards you. It's anger toward the Democratic Party. It's anger toward Black people for not waking the hell up and still making remarks like what you just said. That's something my mom would have said or my dad would have said.
It
Well, you
is.
know, she mentioned Black folk. I don't give a damn if she mentioned gray people. I want to see your action. Show me
in my
what you're doing. Don't talk to
my
me
point.
about what you gonna do when you in a place to do it now. That's what I'm saying. So if I sound a little aggressive, I do apologize because
You don't have to
that's
about
not that's not where
you
I
don't
am.
have to apologize. It's kind of funny to me, but
Yeah, y'all
anyway,
hugging
I
face,
said
man.
again, ain't anyway. You ain't. I understand Black people feel like the redhead stepchild. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing strictly for Black folks. Black folks feel like the stepchild hate this country don't like you. They
But
want
does
to
it,
say you
Bakari?
and they want
And
yeah,
guess
no, this
what?
country
You don't
don't
get to
like you.
vote.
No, this country don't. No, this country don't like you. And
You ain't got something
this
to say. We
country
know that.
this
I
this country hates you. So you can
Okay, so
do
because we
things.
know
wait.
that,
Hold
what are
on,
we gonna
Bakari.
do about
Hold
it?
on.
We know that.
Let him finish. Let him finish. Let him finish. Consider. Let him finish.
You don't ever have to vote. You don't ever have to be involved in anything. But even whether you involved or not, the same laws, the same taxes, the same everything, still gonna apply to you. It's still gonna apply. You still
No,
have to live by the exact, yes, you do, by the
no.
exact same thing.
Now let me
So
ask you though. Okay.
by not being involved, did that change anything for the people that are telling black folks don't be involved? Did that change anything? Did that change a tax bracket? Did it change anything that was gonna happen
I
to or
think
for black folk?
I think so,
But
Bakari.
with
You
us
know why
voting,
I'm
did that
kind of
change
glad about
anything?
this?
Did that
You
change
know what?
anything?
Watch this, consider. I'm actually glad because you know what? Black like people like it would have been the same like because and I'm not it would have been the same. I still say it ain't no lesser of two evils, but you know what the difference is now. People is ready to stand, and black people is ready to put their money together. Black people is ready to stand up. We see now that we don't have no choice about to do whatever. So yeah, I'm kind of glad that it's happening me personally, but I told y'all I ain't had nothing to lose. I would have pushed the button a long time ago. But the question though, Bakari, if you are the damn stepchild, why the hell would you keep doing the chores?
I'm not the
Because
stepchild. I don't complain. I know they don't
I'm
like
saying
me.
black, no, black people is like the redheaded stepchild in America, is what I'm saying. Um, what you mean you don't complain? If you don't complain in the situation we in, then that means we sick, Bakari. If we
Wait a
that
minute.
means
No,
we're
no, no,
comfortable in
no.
the
So
situation
watch
we're
this.
in.
Okay with it.
That's not what that means. That's not what that means. See, I don't complain because I'm a doer. I'm
What
you
does it
know,
mean?
see sitting
What?
complaining and being mad
Right,
at
right,
this group or being mad at that group saying they ain't done nothing for us
right.
because they
So
don't do
Bakari,
nothing strict like this. They don't do nothing just for us. They not
right.
gonna do anything just for you.
So why would you
Whatever it
do
is you
something
can
for
get.
But
them?
guess what?
So watch this. So, but whatever it is you get, once again, this is me. This is how I see it. I ain't concerned about what other people get. I'm really not. I'm more focused on black folk. We focus on
Right.
other people more than we can focus on ourselves. Well, they gave them this. But
Okay.
what about when we get,
Okay.
what are we gonna do with what we get? That's
What
the
do we
thing.
get?
Okay. So what you suggest we do when we get what we gonna get, but we ain't got nothing in
I'm gonna be
hundreds
honest
of
with you.
years.
I don't
But when we get what we gonna get, what you
I'm
want us to
I'm
do
I'm
with it?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I told you I'm done making suggestions. I
Well,
told you that I'm
Okay.
done. There's not that for me that there's no need when you can hold a conversation and you trying to show and then you say okay this person or that I'm for me
no,
I
So
can't
you
just
still voting?
no, hold on, consider,
Are
hold
you
on,
do
still
I
let him
vote
know.
yes do I vote yes I vote
okay? So you still are you voting Democratic or Republican?
I vote what I think can help black folks.
He voted for what's that dude name? The football player dude.
I don't know no
Herschel
football. I
Walker.
don't
That's who he voted for.
shit. Herschel Walker.
No, he voted for what that man that's in there now. What he vote? What's the man name that's in there
No,
from Georgia? What's his name? The black preacher.
oh yeah,
The late
but
put
no,
nothing for black
no,
folks.
Bakari, but no,
I have no idea who you talking about in there
but
The man name.
from Georgia.
He's what's his name?
Oh, Raphael Warnock,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
one of the
Did you
people
vote for
that
him?
orchestrated one of the people that orchestrated the bill for black farmers to get money. But see, that's the thing people don't talk about. And then they don't talk about, oh, how MAGA held it up in court and took him to court and sued and did all. So everything had to be rewritten because we didn't see the first one that was written. See, that's my point. We will ignore stuff when somebody do something for you so we can complain about, well, this what ended up happening. It's not nobody's fault that this country don't like black folk. It's nobody's fault that when something was written strictly for black people, somebody took it to court and they just held it up and held it up and held it. That's not the people's fault that wrote that.
Bakari,
That's not
well,
their
this is
fault.
my pop, but not with you, Bakari. But when I was young, like every time I used to ask, like when I asked my mom, like, well, the Democrats in there, they'd be like, well, they can't do nothing because the Republican. But then, like, when the white people say the same thing, they be like, we can't do nothing because of the Democrats. Like, you don't think that they're all like, is a reason why nothing ever gets done? Like, and
Dude,
this
I'm
is
not
my
I don't
only
have
thing
a.
though, Bakari, because I'm agreeing with you, like, as far as us focusing on us, like. for one, if we're gonna have a political candidate, it's useless if we ain't putting the money behind them, because they're gonna do what whoever puts the money behind
Right.
them wants them to do, you know.
Right.
So unless we're doing that, first of all, it don't matter what public policy they are. But that energy that we have spent all of this time, like vote, and maybe the next election we can focus on us. But now we got to say, what if we have spent a fraction of that energy into putting in, like you talk about HBCUs,
Right.
but I'm like, even just the black schools, like whatever, like what if we had, because that's what I've been saying, like the hell with all of that stuff. We want to vote, let's vote for goddamn the people who have a successful business, people who can have a council that can help people, and we put our money into that and we vote for that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I'm saying. If we know that they can't do nothing for black people, why do we keep participating in
Right.
something that we know that they can't do for us? Like
I didn't
that's
say they
the
can't do nothing. I say they're not gonna do anything for black people, just black people. And like I said, man, I ain't going down on road. I ain't trying to convince nobody or nothing. But I know for me, when I see things and I saw how many black construction companies that was in business, and I knew they was coming from, and I knew the contracts they were getting, and I see now out of the 5 that we were delivering to, there's only 1 left because of things that happened. I'm not gonna sit here and ignore and say, well, black folks didn't get nothing. Dude, that ain't the truth.
but
That ain't
Bakari,
the
no,
truth.
no,
It
hold
have
on.
nothing. Wait. It have nothing to do with whether I support a Democrat or not. It have nothing to do with whether an immigrant got something or not. It have something to do with. It have something to do with. Damn, I saw these black businesses on these damn government contracts, $1 million contracts. Now all of a sudden, these black construction companies are gone. All of
But
a sudden,
Bakari,
they don't have these contracts no more.
But Bakari, speaking of like the construction, Bakari,
You had a whole
it was
$1 billion worth
it's
of
it's
business.
been a problem with construction because so many black workers and more in warehouse jobs too, and not just construction, aren't getting jobs in these places because of
Right.
like certain
Right. The
things, you know
immigrants.
what I'm saying? Like, and this has been a complaint of a lot of black construction workers, like in America, you know what I'm saying? Like who
and
like
I and I can and I can and the only thing I can do, because this is what I do, and I can tell you why. Some of the complaints have stopped, and it have nothing to do with just the Democrat. No, it does not. We look. I ain't trying to convince nobody or nothing. I just things that folks don't want to hear and don't want to listen. You don't have to. I don't care whether you listen to it or not. In all honesty. I was
but
just coming up here to say I agree with how many black folks lost their jobs and what they're doing to the nursing industry and how they doing the nursing industry and how they finna do black women. That's the only reason I was up here. I don't care if folks listen to it or not. I don't care. I'm not trying to convince nobody, because I'm done trying to argue with people and show people, well, this was a game. They gain this, they gain this, and they gain this. You can't show nobody nothing that don't want to see it. So I been stopped. If you don't want to see it, there's no need for me to try and show you.
Okay, Bakar, you can like like I would like to see that. Like, okay,
I'm
show.
not
Well,
going
I'm
to.
not
I
going.
promise you, I'm not. I'm not. I promise you.
No,
I
I like you
promise you,
said
I
the
ain't going down
construction
that road.
workers. We're like, let's look at
I
the numbers
promise
or
you.
whatever.
I promise you, I'm not going down that road. I'm talking about
I
companies that
know,
I saw. I'm talking about companies I know for a fact was out there on government contracts. I'm talking about contracts
but
I
I'm
knew
talking
for a.
about the people that I'm
Wait,
working with that lost their jobs. Like my
I'm
friends, like
talking
the
about I'm
like
talking
you
about
know.
contracts I knew for a fact, because my cousin was giving out the damn government contracts that were written for black folks that was absolutely lost. I'm not, man, and here's the thing. I can go through websites, I can show up, but I'm not going through. I'm literally
Bakari,
not, because there's no need.
Bakari. Okay, so when you look up the list of the government contracts, who was in last place for all of these contracts under all minority groups?
I have no idea.
Well,
But I
you
know
just
how.
said you knew that. I
But watch
know
this.
the numbers.
No,
The
you
black
say when you look
people
at
was at the
okay, so
bottom of
watch,
the
you
list.
say
It
you know the
was
you
like
say you know the
you knew
numbers.
one person,
Okay, you
Bakari,
say,
but
well,
a lot of us
no, I
losing
didn't.
jobs though.
You say you know the numbers. So how much money did black people receive in government contracts? I'm just
But
asking. I can tell you.
it was like when see, I'm thinking of farm shit. That was like 10 point something. That was like 50 something, right?
50 something what?
Million?
No. Black people receive $10 billion in government
10
contract, dude.
billion. Oh yeah,
10
10
billion.
billion,
And you can look $10 billion in government contracts.
yeah.
And you can look that up.
Yeah.
And
That's
that's
what
my
that's
point.
what I'm saying.
And
Look it up. I'm looking
and
up.
I
That's what I'm saying.
and I like I said, I ain't trying to convince nobody, and I ain't trying to tell nobody, and I ain't
So
telling nobody, ooh, other people should be above us. But what I'm saying is, I got to a point where I'm saying, me talking about what other people got ain't doing. What are we gonna do with what we get? We can do the right thing with what we get.
so
Well,
Bakari,
we can get up. Well, we can get off everybody's nipple.
can I ask you this? Do you know how
Did
many?
you hear
I
what you
don't know.
just said?
No, hold on. Let me ask you, Bakari. How many government contracts did black people? What's the number this year?
I have no idea. They have lost. They have lost contracts.
What? Yeah,
Contracts
what's
were
the number?
rewritten. I don't know,
Yeah,
but I
no.
know contract. I know contracts were rewritten. Like I said,
No.
I know.
Okay,
Yes, they
I can
would.
pull it up, bro. Hold on. Go ahead. Go ahead. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Shit, I know. I just know from the people I deliver to is folks that were complaining how they lost contracts. Shit, I got a little friend. She lost her damn friend. Well, she my nephew friend. She's younger than me. From my hometown that lost her $450,000 government contract, $450,000 a year government contract. Dude, black folks lost, and I'm not. And like I said,
No,
I
I
ain't trying
ain't.
to convince.
Hold on. I
I ain't,
didn't say.
I ain't trying to convince nobody or nothing, bro. I
Okay,
have no idea. I look.
Bakari. See,
I have no
this is what
idea.
I was saying. Yeah. Because okay, it says here, right? In the fiscal year 2023, black-owned businesses received 10.2 billion in federal contracts. But this was the problem, which is why businesses was suing back then. I was getting it mixed up with the farming stuff because it was still only 1.3 to 1.6% of the total federal contracting budget, which is why a lot of black businesses had lawsuits and a lot of a lot of business people had lawsuits going on even during that time because it was only like 1% of the contracts or whatever, that's but my bad. Go ahead though. What you were saying.
Like I said, I don't even know how we get down this road. I just said I agree
Oh, that's the stuff
about
you
all
brought. This is
about. No, I didn't bring none of this up. I was interrupted though while I was speaking to talk about how agree that all them black folks done lost their job. And I was talking about what they did to nursing. There's a whole lot of black folks that's been unemployed, not just women, black men. There's a whole
okay.
lot of black
So,
folks that lost their job. I have no idea. I don't even have no idea how it went down that road.
well, it says right here that this year they got the 1.5% of the contract. So like it's the same. It's not saying that it went down for black people. Like I'm not saying that it's like whatever. Like, but
Okay,
this is what this is saying. It's saying it's still the same.
okay.
Well, like maybe I should show it. Damn, my bad. Well, it don't matter, but I was just looking it up. That's my bad. My bad. I was just looking it up. But um, go ahead. What's up, Time to Work? What up, MD2? All right, so let's see. Well, y'all could keep talking. I was just looking at this stuff.
Nah, I'm finna get off.
Okay.
I was just coming up talking about how I agree all them folks lost their jobs and what
Right.
they're doing to the nursing industry.
Yeah. No, that's
I
that's true. And
I
nobody.
I have no idea how we went down this road. I'm black. I'm not a Democrat, but
I know. I don't.
I
I
guess
don't accuse
but I
you
guess
particularly.
but I guess but I guess if you say something slightly different, that make folks a little angry and you become
No, no,
whatever
Bakari. I'm gonna
they
be real with you,
and they
Bakari.
make you whatever they want you to be.
No, Bakari, I'm gonna be real with you. Sometimes you do name suspect people, like when you bring up people like Cory Booker, like who's not a good person to bring up, bro.
The only
Like,
thing I said,
or when
dude,
you
whether
bring up
he's a good
Stephen
person or not,
Crockett,
he's
like,
because he's not a good person to bring up. That don't negate the fact of the bill that he wrote that he was trying to get passed. That's not
but
the
he was
that
not
does not.
doing that when he was in
Yeah,
office,
that
Bakari. That's
yes
not
yes
true.
yes he was. He
No,
did it.
we had that
He
whole
did it,
discussion.
dude. He did it while he was in office. So what you think he was on the streets and tried to get a bill passed?
He
No,
didn't.
he
What
was
bill? He
he
didn't.
was
It
in
wasn't no
office.
bill that was
He do.
passed.
I said try to get it passed. That's what I said. But instead of listening to what it said, the name bothered you. I'm not concerned
No,
about
bro.
whether he was a good person to bring up or not. But that does not change the fact that, okay, that he wrote this bill strictly for black farmers and talked about how black farmers have been railroaded and how they need and what they need in their money in their
No,
land. But that does not change the fact that he
Bakari,
did that,
but
dude.
that he didn't do that while he was running for
Okay.
office, Bakari. We showed that
Yes.
he
Oh
did
my
that.
goodness.
First of all, he didn't say stuff for black farmers.
Yes,
Like
he
we
did. Oh
showed
my God.
it.
You never read the bill. Forecast. I know you
We
never
was
read the
on
bill.
here
I can say by
together.
what you're saying. No,
We
Forecast.
had an
You right.
argument.
You right. I did a whole show and show where the bill was written. Then I did the show and show where it was written with him and Raphael Warnock. And each time it was written, show who took him to court and how it ended up in court. I sat there and I showed all that. You're right. We did. We did. He wrote this bill. He wrote this bill years ago. And he did.
He
He
didn't.
tried to get the bill.
So are we
Okay, look,
concerned?
dude.
Are we ever
There's no need.
concerned with?
Look, dude. There's no need to have. Like I said, man, I ain't trying to convince you of nothing, bro. I don't care. Ain't nobody ever got to do nothing. I ain't trying to convince nobody of nothing.
Are we
You
concerned
know, I'm
that
not.
they're
I'm not.
always
I'm not.
trying to do something but never get
I'm not.
anything done for black
I'm
people?
not.
Is
I'm not
anybody
trying to.
concerned with that?
I'm
You
not
said,
trying to
oh,
convince
they
nobody of
tried to
nothing.
do this and they trying to do that, but they never succeed. So why is it that white people, when they're writing bills for their people, they succeed? But then when we come and write a bill for black people, it never, we never get it done. I'm not understanding that. You said, oh, Jasmine Crockett mentioned blah, blah, blah. Okay, but we're seeing them do for other people. I want to see them do for black people also because we're part of America too. But we get to the point where we're accepting whatever they throw out there, but they not doing nothing. There's never anything that's completed when it comes to us. And they do nothing about it. I have an issue with that. But you want me to keep voting for people that's trying to do something for black people, but never succeeding in doing it. But you want me to keep on, well, maybe next time they'll write a better bill. Well, you can write a better bill this time and get it passed. Why is it white folk can get their bills passed, black folk can't when it comes to black people? I don't understand that. And I can't get nobody to explain it to me. So because she mentioned reparations, because she wants your vote, so I'm going to mention it. I'm not going to really do anything about it. I'm going to just mention it. Because anytime you mention reparation, black folk, it perks our ears up. We hear that, oh, reparations. Oh, okay, let's see what she's talking about. She ain't talking about nothing because she's in the Senate now, that she can make some things happen now. And she's doing absolutely nothing. This is your chance to show black people what you're really about. And she's argued more for immigrants than she has for black people. And I understand why. Because immigrants putting their money behind her. Black folk has not put any money behind her. I understand that. I understand politics. Black folk don't. But my thing is, I'm not putting my name behind anybody that I don't see who's in office right now doing something that could actually get something passed. And now you're going to tell me what you're going to do when you elected again. I don't give a damn about that. I want to see you do something right now, here, today. Put something in writing, pass something. Because you got enough Black Caucus members that can pass some bills, that can get some stuff passed. But I'm tired of hearing people what they can do, what they have done for white people, but they can do for black, but they ain't done it yet. Well, okay, well, when we gonna do it? Well, how much more do we have to vote for people that's not doing anything? That's gonna put a bill out there, but it's not passing. Okay, Cory Booker put some bills out there for black farmers. They shot it down. Okay, what are you doing about it? Nothing. White folk get stuff done all the time. Come on now, let's be real. Let's stop dreaming here. Let's do business. Let's do what we need to do. Build your own tables. Why do we have to keep voting for people that's not doing anything? Let's build our own table. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, hold on. Let me say this because Bakari hopped off, and I don't know if he's still listening, but and there's nothing negative about.
And that's okay if he don't
We
listen. It
disagree.
doesn't matter if he listens or
Yeah,
not. I
yeah,
don't care if he listens. But I'm saying
yeah.
black folk
But
need to listen. It's not
right,
about him.
but
When you got a
yeah,
person sit
for
up here and throw a name out there who ain't doing
But
jack shit for black folk, that's what bothers me. Black folks still holding on to a Democratic Party that ain't doing shit for them, but suggestions. I don't give a damn about a suggestion. I want to see you do something, or I want to, or let us do for us.
Yeah, and
Let's
I'm gonna
not
say,
suggest.
yeah, and it ain't nothing like no personal stuff. Like we disagree on this or whatever. But
Person, it's
like
nothing
my
personal.
Yeah, it's not personal. It's like, it's not for y'all. It's just for everybody out there, and for Bakari. It ain't no nothing. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. And I hope you don't feel like
That's a yes
like
of mine right
it
there.
is whatever.
But I
But
just
it
don't
is what it is.
understand when black folks do voting Democratic Party who does nothing and say they ain't gonna do nothing just for black people. She told you. Harris told you I ain't gonna do nothing just for black folk. We need to play that video. Okay, well, somebody tell me I'm not gonna do anything just for, but you did something just for Indians, just for Pacific Islanders, just for, okay, just for the white farmers. But then when the black farmers come, you get shut down, but don't nobody do shit about it. That's what I have an
Yeah.
issue with. I'm tired of
Um.
people telling me what they gonna do. But go ahead, I'm gonna rest. I'm gonna mute my
No,
mic.
no, yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. Look, and I can't fire my brother on here. I'm gonna let you speak, but I just wanted to put it out there. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to my brother Bakari for coming on here. I ain't trying to make it seem like what I'm saying, it is what it is or nothing like that. But you know, I'll just leave it at that. So, yo, what's going on, Icon Fire?
Hey, respect my people, my sister, and my brother. Respect.
Respect, my brother.
Yeah, man. Listen, for real.
All right.
They even I'll go with the sister. They even did something for the homos. Anyway, you ever notice that the Democrat, the black
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
yes. You ever notice that the Black Caucus is for everybody? I mean, they're called black, but they're for everybody. But the whites is for the whites. I mean, how does that work? You feel me? It's like
Exactly.
the
And
Black
the
Caucus.
immigrants for
Yeah,
the immigrants.
go ahead, sister. If-
Go ahead,
And I don't
there
mean to
might
interrupt
be
you. I'm gonna mute my mic. I am. Go ahead for a can.
No, go
there
ahead.
might
I
be
finish what you
there
saying.
might be. I enjoy her because she's facing reality. You feel me? These set of hypocrites, they don't they black people is dying on the streets by police, but there's no executive order to make black people specific for protection. You feel me? But you have it for Chinese and homos. You feel me? That's Joe Biden them who told what's his name that he not African if he not Democrat. He's not American if he's not. So it's like this whole bunch of bull. I think, and also me personally, I'm not American and I didn't vote, but I wouldn't vote for the side. I wouldn't vote with the homos. If the homos like it, I don't like it. That's how it is. I don't even. I think, and even though when it comes to the races, I even prefer dealing with those type of wickedness than dealing with the homos. You feel me? So we have to check these things. You feel me? And also because they are deteriorating our communities and inventing these people in our communities, which is totally bad for us. They're turning men into females and female spirits and all that. Totally bad for us. Totally. You feel me? It's best we be a man and face the races than be a. You feel me? So all I'm saying is we need to face the reality that people that's not black people are how they blaming a lot of Caribbean people for going into politics and not being on their side, and I blame the Caribbean people too for that. But to tell the truth, a lot of black Americans, if they get the post, they wouldn't do different. Just like Miss Crockett and that boy that be making a whole fuss in the Democrat Party now. You feel me? And he don't care about black people either. They just some little Christian people who care about Jesus and white people. You feel me? Holcomb, Corey Bookham, whatever his name is. You feel me? They just some big old idiots. And they don't care about nothing. And they will not do nothing. You feel me? And Jasmine Crockett, all she care about is her hair and white people, or whatever. Go ahead now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and look, and I'll say this, right? Because it's both sides kind of thing, you know. And more people came on here. My brother MG2 came on here, and MG2. This is why I did that live. You came on that live when it was talking about Jasmine Crockett, and you took up for her. And I wanted to be careful because I get it. A bunch of coons and the racists is talking about her in a negative way, but at the same time, right? Like Icon Fire saying, like we saying before, like this is why I'm not the. I wasn't trying to pick on the sister. She's beautiful and all of that stuff, but I seen this happen in 1590, my brother, and I told you in 16 something that this was gonna happen, and you told me a lot of stuff was gonna happen. But that's just why I put it on there, MG2. But I don't know what you think, my brother.
Man, when it comes to Jasmine Crockett, and this is what I think I had stated, she is one cutie of a cute cutie. Her political, that's a whole different issue. Okay, I am totally polar opposite of her political stance. Matter of fact, the thing that I like is that she's feisty. You know, I love the fact that she's a fighter. She fights for what she believes in, for what she wants. I mean, she's the kind of individual that I could go in the supermarket and if some little Becky, you know, runs the, you know, puts one of the carts into somebody else, she'll go ahead and you know, snatch that wig off. That's what I like about Jasmine Crockett. But her political stance is totally opposite of what I want. As Icon Fire said, one of the things about what these Democrats are, they call themselves big tent or whatever. That's not for me. I'm not for a big tent. I don't want somebody who says, well, I'm not going to do anything just for black people. No, I want you to do something just for me. That's what I want. I want somebody that says, oh, yeah, you know, because that's what politics is. Politics is, I don't care about what somebody thinks, how they feel, I don't care what they eat, you know, whether they watch the game. My thing is, what are you going to do that I make you do? Not what have you got for me? Because a lot of folks look for Democrats to, well, they ain't done nothing for us. So they ain't got nothing. Of course, you have to make them do stuff. You have to be in their face. And the problem is it seems that everyone else, like the Brokebacks and the Beckys and the, you know, the abortionists and you know, the freaks and what, it seems that they're able to use Democrats as an effective tool more than black folk, because all politics, all what I call politicians, they're a tool. And if I can't use that tool, then clearly it's definitely not for me. I'm not into Brokebacks. I'm not into the abortionists and all this other big tent nonsense. I want something that'll make me competitive, that'll make me a threat. And if you see how Donald Trump got where he got, not just him, but the entire Project 2025 and the whole 9 yards, they know what politics is, or what we say the art of compromise, because that's all politics really is. They went in, they negotiated what they needed to negotiate, they stole what they needed to steal, they conned everyone, they threatened, whatever it is, but they got stuff done. They hashtag GSD, get shit done. They got stuff done. I could care less about any of this other stuff. My thing is, I have an agenda. Are you going to get it done? It's like a tool. You know, I don't reason and rationalize with a screwdriver. I make it do what I want it to do. And if it doesn't work, I get another one. That's all a politician or politics is. Democrats, you know, for me, I cannot build a house with Democrats, you know, because I'm looking for a tool and I'm gonna get some marshmallows. I can't do that. I want something I can use that's going to be effective. So when you had that Kamala Harris nonsense talk about, I'm not going to do anything just for black folks, that just told me that's not the kind of tool I want. You know, she definitely is not. It's like me trying to use a toothbrush to build a house. She's a toothbrush. I need a screwdriver. I need some hammers. I need real tools. And so therefore, if you ain't going to do nothing just for me, then I don't want you. I want somebody like Donald Trump did. He got folks in his cabinet, in his political environment that are doing stuff just for him. Don't ask me. Elon Musk and Doge, that craziness, was doing stuff just for him. So clearly he's using politics correctly. And in terms to reiterate about Jasmine Crockett, she is a card-carrying, a homophile, liberal, Democrat, socialist, whatever this nonsense is. I can't co-sign that. One, because it's immoral to me, and I don't, you know, because it counteracts all the morality that I have. You know, men and women belong together, not men and men. And number two, it's diffuse, because if you're doing stuff for this guy and that guy like Oprah, and you get a car and you get a car, no, I don't want that. If I want my version of a political Oprah, I want her to say, just to me, oh, you get a car and you get another car and you can get a third one, even if you can't drive it. I want it all. I don't want some of it. I want it all. And when I say I'm talking black folks. I want black folks to have it all, not some of it, not to share, not to sit back and say, okay, we're going to give some to the brokebacks and give some to the humpbacks and give some to the. No, I want for black folks, I want it all. And I want nothing else for anyone else. That's just the bottom line. So, when it comes to Jasmine, she's feisty, she's cute, the whole 9 yards, but that's where it ends. Hopefully that clarifies there, Brother Forecast.
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely. And I'm just saying, right? This is why I even showed it, and then I said, right? Hey, if she stands up for it, if she goes on her political thing, like on some no taxes for black people, which some people would say, well, you can't do something just for black people. No, um, but at the same time, right, because we're going to be fair, right, we're not going to just say it's one side either, you know what I'm saying, because we recognize that the other side is how, like, and what I don't understand is black people don't realize, like, we voting for, how do you like your racism, with a smile on your face and stab you in the back, or just straight up with the Klan and the noose right then and there. And apparently, it seems like we are more willing to boycott stores and all the stuff that we've been saying for 25 years. But now they want to do it. But my brother Rashid is on here. So I was going to say something, but I wanted to just let my brother speak. What's
What's
going
up,
on, my
brother?
brother?
Forecast, long time hear from you, man. Let me hop on the stage. I heard
Yeah,
y'all
my
talking
brother.
about Democrat, man. I'm tired of these Democrats, man. Well, I don't know why we keep voting for the same party like Queen sister was talking about earlier, man. How you gonna vote for somebody that's never gonna do nothing for you? You've been voting for Democrats for 60 plus years and they haven't done nothing. They smile your face and grin in your face. That's called sheep in the woods. Cause in the day, they all one party to me. Cause in the day, the Republicans is open with theirs. Cause in the day, how you gonna continue to vote for your self-destruction? Cause all you gonna do is continue, gonna throw it in my face, talking about our ancestors had died right for us to vote, but they didn't tell you to die to vote for your destruction. They told you to vote for something to get returned back, not to give away your vote. Cause all we doing is letting them pimp us. Cause come on now, why I complain about them promote LGBTQ, but why we ain't doing nothing about it? Why us as a people ain't doing nothing about it? We continue saying that we tired of them doing what they do to us, but we continue to feed into their nonsense. What's up with that? In the day, it's time for us to take responsibility and stop vote for these two parties that's never going to do nothing for us. Once we start creating our own politics, we create our own party and be independent. Stop depending on these system white supremacy because they're never going to do nothing for you. All they're going to do is use the same playbook and all the time keep doing this because they know they're going to come back to them and all that. Know what they doing? They let Donald Trump do all they want and they know y'all going to come crying back and have them come back to Democrat, man. Y'all going to be, I'm upset. Y'all do that, man. You deserve to be replaced. Well, one big ain't nobody because in the day you've been warned, and every day we've been warned. Since the
Hey,
Democrat
hey,
I ain't done yet, brother. Man, I gotta tell you other thing, man. I got called sellout. Let me tell you what happened to me back this election day. They called me a sellout because I won't vote for. Come on here, why would I vote for a woman that says she ain't gonna do nothing? She said I ain't gonna do nothing for black people. No, I ain't gonna do nothing for black people, no. But I'm a sellout because I won't vote for Kamala Harris. How that make me a sellout? Because I choose not to vote for Kamala Harris. They tell me if you don't vote for Kamala Harris, that's automatic vote for Donald Trump. How that the automatic vote for Donald Trump? Because I choose not to vote for either or. How that sound out my own people? I'm done with voting for Democrats. I learned my lesson forever being a Democrat. Because you know what Democrats does? All they do is vote for anti-black family. I'm all about black family. I'm all about building and sticking together and working together. I'm not with that dividing shit. I'm all about loving and creating our own, empowering each other. Because it's enough money for all of us to survive and maintain. We don't gotta kill each other, hate each other, compete with each other, argue back and forth. I'm tired of this. When we gonna start loving one another and care for each other? I'm tired of us arguing. We acting like human beings.
hey,
European mindset. We are. We act
let
like
me tell you, man.
Europeans. We got to stop being ourselves and be our true identity. Love being black. Be black first. Where we gonna realize that? We are the power thing on this planet. Without us, there is no American. Imagine we start loving each other, this system will crash overnight. If we start saying fuck the white supremacy, we're done with your bull crap. We're not gonna feed you your mess no more. We're gonna get your kids out of these schools. We're gonna get the kids out of these programs. We don't want none of these kids in your program. We're gonna create our own, and we got the money to do it, and we're gonna create our own. Cause we got the power. We just gotta believe in ourselves. Stop looking towards the devil. The devil don't give a fuck. Look what he's doing to Nazir. He's bombing their country, doing what they want, stealing oil. Come on. Like, look at Donald Trump. He should be behind bars right now. He shouldn't be running the president. He should be locked up behind bars, 34 victory felony. Come on now. Where's the accountability? Where's the accountability? How come he getting away with child molesting kids? What's up with that? Come on.
Hold on, man. Let me say this.
I'm calling it like it is. I'm killing it. Come on now.
Hold on,
man.
man.
It's a shame we worship the devil, man. When we gonna start being ourselves and true ourselves, be queens and kings? When we gonna get back on being queens and kings and get back on being a strong black family again? We need that. That's why I miss when I was coming up as the 80s. This would be strong black family, had a compassion for each other, we loved each other. What happened to that? We let them distort us? Come on, man.
Women are the main voters.
I'm done.
Women are the main voters of the Democrat Party. It's black women. You feel me?
Yes, they are.
You have black women who are die-hearted, like they will say whether or not. It's like they'll say they are loyalists. They are whether or not they are just voting Democrats. That's it. You feel me? Like whether or not. So
what you getting out of it though? That's what I'm saying.
We need to address this thing where our demographics are divided, where the women are pulling this way and the men are pulling that way. A whole goddamn tug of war is going on between us in our inner circle. You feel me? Where women are fighting for power and against men, and therefore what the man think about voting and what the man think about politics don't matter, because the woman have her own concept of politics, and as you say, we are voting against our own interests.
Mm-hmm.
And that means our women are one of the main ones voting against our interests.
Yep.
Terrible thing. That's a terrible thing.
But in the day, if you vote for Democrats in the day, you actually are part of the problem. I tell you why, because you vote with LBQ, KQ, you're down with the same gender, you're down with them putting that shit to the kids. Because if you vote for Democrats, you ain't no
how come our women,
I'm sorry.
Women is
If you
not
vote for
against
Democrat, you are part of the problem. I'm sorry.
How come our women is not
they are
against it?
100% homosexual, and you vote, you with that shit. I'm sorry. I don't care who get mad. I'm gonna tell the truth. That's all I stand on is the truth. I'm like Queen, like the sister Queen. I love her. She ain't scared to speak the truth at all. She don't care how you feel. I got nothing but respect for that sister. Salute to that Queen sister right there. Sometimes she make me cry. Sometimes when she speak that truth, man. She ain't no joke. I love that Queen, man. For a podcast, good luck, blessed to have her, man. She a good sister, man. We need more sisters like her, man. Damn, we need more sisters like her.
And let me say this, right? And first of all, right, Cassandra noted, like, and yeah, you're right, or yeah, she's definitely shouts out to Cassandra, but Cassandra, you notice, right? When we have this conversation, there's a bunch of people in here. When we're talking about other things, and like, MD2 come on here, like, but when we sitting here and it seemed like me and my brother is arguing, now we have, huh? And we have a bunch of people here, and all of these brothers listen all the time. I know these brothers be listening, you know what I'm saying? I ain't talking about the people that's on here, but the problem with all of this stuff, right, is that for some reason we always seem to like separate Europeans somehow, like, oh, is the white man a white woman, or white bitches, or Republican Democrat, or the Jews, or whatever. we always seem to separate them. And the problem comes, right, with like, even when we have this Republican Democrat, which is why I didn't talk about it. And I purposely did it today on purpose because I knew what was going to happen, right? But the problem is, though, it makes like black people, like Bakari is my brother, you know what I'm saying? But even after this whole thing, and I wouldn't even call Bakari a Democrat because Bakari will speak out against Democrat stuff and he ain't gonna make excuses like some other brothers who ain't even gonna say the name no, right now, right? Will make excuses for anything, you know what I'm saying? That this group of people does, you know? But the problem is this division, like Republican, Democrat. I don't give a damn about none of that stuff, left, right. I don't care about none of that stuff. But that can make me and my brother, you know, not even be on the, even though he's still my brother, like we don't even be like talking on the phone and all of that stuff like that no more. Like I
You
know
get you
Bakari
get
is
sensitive.
ain't
You get sensitive and cause division over
yeah.
white people stuff.
Over white
Imagine that.
people stuff. And and I'm not saying this is Bakari because Bakari is just tired. And I know he been talking about, oh yeah, I want to retire. And I've been trying to tell him that you cannot, because if you try to, then you still gonna have to go to work in the morning and you still a slave, even though he, you know what I'm saying? And that's the same thing with me, right? But this is the problem, you know, like this we find ways to be divided amongst each other, whether it be, and yeah, like in Virginia we have that Jamaican woman, Winston Salem, whatever, you know, her name is, straight up coon, you know what I'm saying? And she is in a position of political power, you know what I mean? But it's
Yeah.
black people that's coons everywhere, and that is so easily used to be dividing us. And every single thing in the world divides us as a people, whether it be politics and all of that stuff. And we take it to a level to where we cannot even be on the same level that we were, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not even saying with me personally, but like you don't see that this is a problem with unity and stuff like that, you know? But
Yeah, it's Christianity that's causing it because Christianity influence us to doubt our blackness and therefore see blackness as something poor and deserving of poorness and not wealth. So because we don't see blackness in the position of wealth, therefore we in ourselves always contend with each other because we in a fight to keep each other n- um in a poor state and not a wealthy state. You feel me? Because
yeah.
a black person in a wealthy state deserve respect, and most black people don't want to give or was trained not to give respect to black people. So most black people don't like to see black rich people. And that's what the dilemma is in America and Jamaica, and that's what's causing all the friction because we only recognize white wealth, and we think we in our Christian mentality think that wealth belong to white people. That's why we'll give them our raw material in Africa and Jamaica and all these places. We just hand over our raw material to them because we think that they belong in Escalade and and Ferraris, and we don't. I'm telling you.
Yeah, and let me say, because I got I don't want to like
But didn't
consider
that start
speak
with
and
education and not just religion?
yeah,
But didn't
it's
that
it's
start with education and not just religion? That's
It's
education.
religion.
That's
It's
education.
religion. It's like
When you
I
allow
it's
other
like
agree.
people to educate you,
yeah, it's both, yeah, it's both, yeah.
yeah,
Well, yeah,
but okay. How do you explain the educated idiot? You know why? Because he's a white worshiper. So he don't exert himself in the real levels in all levels of education, and he avoids certain parts of education, therefore he remains a fool and remains a educated white lover. And that don't make no sense. Right now, it's the educated people who are our major demise in the black world, the educated ones, because they think that they can abandon their Africanness because of education. You feel me? And that's one of the main things that's destroying us.
No, I'm gonna be real with you, my bro. And then I gotta let MD2 and Consider speak, right? But the truth is, though, a lot, and this might sound insensitive, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, the truth is, if this system does collapse, though, a lot of us are going to die, you know, and a lot of people don't want to face that reality, you know what I'm saying? Because we rely on them for everything. Like my mom is a diabetic, so she has to rely on certain medicines, right? But like when you see in this collapse of this of the government and the systems, or like people that I like, you know, deal with, like they might need certain medicines or something like that. That's not going to be available to people, you know what I'm saying? And the unfortunate part is the only way that we're gonna ever stop being slaves is for that to happen and for it to break down. And black people don't want to see our loved ones die or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, that is what's going to happen once this system breaks down. But really, that's the only way that we are ever going to be free. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, I don't want to say it like that because my loved ones will probably be in that position. But at the same time, it's not like we didn't have years and years to be able to develop stuff that we can have, which was the purpose of us coming on here saying, be prepared. It wasn't saying be prepared just to be prepared, you know, just to say it, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was because I thought that we wanted an end to this system, and that's the only way that is going to happen, you know. And people think I'm joking when I say I would have been pushed the button, you know what I'm saying? So you lucky is that dude that's in there and not me, because I laugh to keep from crying, because I feel like, and especially this political conversation shows me that we are slaves to the core, to the core, because we are afraid, you know, and we don't have what it takes to you know, not be afraid. And like, like death is going to happen to a lot of our family members and our loved ones. But we could have been supporting black doctors. We could have been making groups. We could have been doing all of these things for, in my lifetime, at least since Obama. I'm pretty sure MD2 lifetime since freaking like Reagan or something, you know. But at least with this dude, and it might be too late. I think it's too late now. We recognize, well, shit, we got to do something, because when this dude kidnap a president and say he gonna take over a country, now it's crazy. But looking at history, like, damn, when the hell U.S. haven't been kidnapping presidents and taking over? How you think they got BP? You know what I'm saying? Like, they killed whatever. Then the Haitian president gets shot in his bed in 2021 when whatever, who was the president or whatever. That's how you supposed to do stuff, you know?
Remember
Like,
they took Aristide and brought him to Congo. They took him from Haiti and brought him to Congo.
what
Aristide
happened?
president.
What happened to Patrice Lumumba? Was this not in the 80s? What happened to like every generation for every whatever? America stays in wars because they have to keep the. And now we're saying, oh, we're going to die because Trump is tripping. Well, maybe we should have that fear that we're going to die. So now we're going to do something, because you know what? We are going to die. And you know what? We have been dying, because I wouldn't have had my channel this whole time if we wasn't dying. But
See that?
um, yo, MG2, you want to say something, bro?
Man, you said everything that needs to be said. I mean, it's just you hit the nail on the head 10 times over. Yeah, I mean, I'm still trying to look for a button to push, and I'm looking and I'm asking different groups around the world that have their own buttons that they want to push, because I would push that button in 2 seconds and annihilate everything United Snakes, anything that Peck would. I would do it, and I don't know if you've ever seen this movie called Dr. Strangelove, and this one cowboy, Slim Pickens, was riding a nuclear bomb down, and he's riding it going, yeehaw. I would ride 2 just to make sure that they both got in there. I would sit there, on a nuclear bomb doing remixes, because The thing is, as you said, many of our folks aren't going to make it. I know that many loved ones are not going to make it, and I wish they would. I really want them to. I would love that for all of us. But one thing I had to learn, and if I'm standing on the train tracks and I see a bunch of folks like us standing on the train tracks, and I'm screaming saying, "Get out of the way!" and I'm trying to even drag folks off the way, and they're immovable. They're completely intransigent to a train that's going to go ahead and bowl them over. Then clearly they have basically set their fate that they want to go ahead and be, hood ornaments for a train. I'm not that kind of individual that would want to go ahead and join them, because clearly they have a different agenda than me. The thing about politics or politricks, as some folks say, is I could care less about, whether it's President Crotch Grab, the degenerate that's in their office right now, or the previous one, the one that couldn't stay awake for 2 seconds, creepy Sleepy Joe, or even that idiot, Brokeback, Bati boy Obama. My thing is it's a tool. And if they're not a useful tool for me, then they must be thrown away. They must be thrown out. And one thing about Democrats, and I've seen this going all the way throughout the late 60s. Okay. When I was growing up, I saw it through the late 60s, the late 70s, it doesn't matter. And one thing that I noticed is, especially with Democrats, is that tool has not worked. No matter how much, it's like somebody trying to push on a string. Sooner or later, you're going to have to you're going to figure it out. The strings, you can't push on a string. You're going to have to find another tool. And I'm not saying Republicans or this and that, because as you said, well, and very eloquently, we're fighting over white folks' ideologies. And I'm just paraphrasing you. My thing is, all I want is something to make us competitive, so that way we can liquidate all our problems. And those problems happen to be white, they happen to be Asian, they happen to be East Indian, they happen to be Hispanic, Arab. I want to liquidate those problems. And whatever could get us as African people, as Black folks, in a position to liquidate, and when I say liquidate, I'm talking about erasing those problems. I'll vote for that. I'll commit voter fraud to make it happen. To me, I could care less about the political whatever. All I know is, in terms of an effective tool, this Neanderthal that they have out there right now that's trying to run a country, that's kidnapping individuals, he's doing more work as an effective tool for Black folks than anything that I've seen previously, going back to like probably 68. And and the reason he's doing it for us, he's not setting out to do something for Black folk particular. He's destroying United Snakes, and he's making my work a lot easier. He's destroying crackers worldwide, and he's making it a lot easier for me, because I don't have to do a lot of the heavy lifting. This idiot's doing so much. I mean, there probably won't be anything left once I push this button. There probably won't be anything left for me to go ahead and kill. The thing is this idiot is doing so much for Black folk, not like he wants to, but just by him weakening their position makes us, as long as we're intelligent and we're smart and we act as a collective, we'll be able to go ahead and use our strengths to go ahead and just bowl them over. Unfortunately, those that are standing on the train tracks waiting for another Democratic Messiah, I'm like, hey, power to you. I'm not on the train tracks because I don't like, I can't stop a train. Okay, that's you guys. I'll let you guys do that. Vote for whoever you want. My thing is, as long as this Neanderthal that's doing what he's doing and continually doing what he's doing, making the enemies around the world that he's doing, all I know is, as African people, as Black folks, if we have this sense of opportunistic intelligence, I have a tendency to think that we will go ahead and we won't be waiting and looking for someone like Democrats or anyone else to do something for us, because we'll have an agenda to make them do whatever we want, irrespective of whether they want to or not. So I'll go ahead and pass the mic there, Brother Forecast.
Yeah, hey, and MG2, all right. I want to say, because you make a good point, right? But this is one thing, right? And maybe you can clear this up for me, though, right? Because this is like one thing I did disagree on, right? Now, you're right about, as far as, because now even Trump own people is like, oh damn, he tripping, and I don't even get like the whole. I ain't gonna lie, for me personally, I don't get the whole like this European culture. They all pedophile, like they're pedophiles. That's what they do. Like they trafficked millions of our children and raped millions of us. But I get it, right? He weakens their system, right? He goes and destroys it. I want to see how far he goes to destroy it, to be real. I hope he goes even farther and destroys their complete system, right? Now, this is the problem, though, right? Yo, it's black people's mentality and the ability to use tools. It's like we pick up a hammer, hit ourselves in the head instead of hitting a nail, right? And instead of always like, because I get what you're saying, like if you see another, like, like what you say about Russia and all that stuff, but I don't think black people have the capability to understand, like, because we is like on some right from wrong, like good and bad and all this stuff like that exists. Right and wrong don't exist. It's like it's all perspective. So like even if we have somebody got an echo on there. Um
Somebody
but
got to
even
mute their mic.
Yeah, but even if we have a like we reach out to these other groups and stuff, black people have this mentality like, oh, we just gonna be friends. You know what I think will happen if we try to unite with Russia, or not unite, but use Russia. We're gonna be speaking Russian instead of like using them for what. In theory, I think I get it. You're right. You know what I'm saying? Like the young sister said, like Queen Nzinga tried to do, she had the same idea as Queen Nzinga, and she didn't even know, because that's how we are. But somehow we just think that we are friends and right and wrong. I think if we try to unite with, for example, with the Russians, we're gonna be speaking Russian instead of having a nuclear weapon and having enemies fight each other. I don't know. What you think about that, bro?
Bro, you said everything perfectly.
No, I
Everything
don't
perfectly.
agree.
I got to tell you one thing, brother Forecast. If I had the ability to steal Russia's nukes, I would do it in 2 seconds. I could care less about Russians. I could care less about Iranians. They just happen to have the tools that I know that United Snakes doesn't want, and Western, I should say, so-called crackers over here don't want. In terms of black folks, unfortunately, again, these are the ones that like to stand on train tracks. And I'll let them try to befriend and sing kumbaya and whatever, because I'm pretty sure kumbaya sounds good with the rhythmic accompaniment of a train barreling down the tracks. I'm not that much of a singer, and I don't have time to. I'm a musician, but I'm not. I've been singing in years, and I don't have time to sing kumbaya and try to speak Russian just because I want to make friends. No, my thing is I have some enemies I want to kill. Bottom line, I want them off this planet, every single one. And whatever tool, I don't care who I have to kiss or who I have to kill to get it. I want their nukes. I want whatever it takes. If I have to put one in my living room and it would blow up United Snakes, I would happily do it, and I would probably go ahead and celebrate the nuke like it was a Kwanzaa. Because the thing is to me, unfortunately, many black folks are not thorough. What I mean by that is when it comes, like I always ask folks, are you ready to go all in? How all in are you ready to go in order to achieve the agenda for black folks to win at the end of the day? And many of them, brother Forecast, are so kumbaya, I don't even recognize them. To me, they are just they're in the way of me getting my agenda. As you were talking about loved ones, I have so many loved ones. I don't want anything bad to happen to them. Unfortunately, they don't agree with the same doctrine as I do in terms of being thorough. So therefore, if they're standing on the train tracks, no matter how much I yell, no matter how much I try to push, I'm not going to spend my time trying to save someone that doesn't want to get off the tracks, because I'll end up getting bowled over by a train as well. My thing is like, look, if these black folk that you're definitely speak of, that's why I said you said everything perfectly, because if these black folks want to go ahead and speak Russian and be kumbaya or whatever, power to them. Nukes they don't discriminate. And that's one thing I like about them. My thing is like, look, we have an enemy that is enslaved, that's destroyed the entire planet, from the smallest the atom to outer space, the largest, and everything in between. And what it's done to African people is completely destroyed us. Clearly, maybe not in spirit, but definitely by the language I'm speaking, you could tell our culture's gone. Just the fact that it exists is enough for me to go ahead and say, if I have to put 10 nukes in my living room and I'll be vaporized in 2 seconds, as long as I get every one of these bastards, not leaving one alive, I'm good. Okay, it's like, hey, cool deal. I'll push the button in 2 seconds. The thing is in terms of all these other black folk, brother Forecasts, I don't even recognize. I like to talk about the weather, the sports, and other things, because I know that they will never get off those train tracks. I'll pass the mic.
Yeah. Icon, you want to say something, bro?
You want me to, can I say something? Before I'll go in a minute. Forecast.
Okay. You want to say something, Rashid?
Yeah, I'm just listening, man. See what y'all talking about. Y'all making some common sense, man. 'Cause I told myself, man, we got to get ourselves together. I just know that this is 2026, man. We can't keep coming back doing the same old mistake and all that. Because today, it's time. Ain't nobody coming down and save us. Ain't all that religious stuff. We got to put the religion on the side and leave the religion alone and get back on building our nation back and get back on being who we are, man. Stop letting them say that we're not nothing. In the day, stop, leave them politics alone, and none of them ain't for us, and none of them ain't got all that. We all we got. I'm gonna keep saying it till the day I die. We all we have. Brother Forecast, we got to realize that we don't have no friends this world, and it's showing it right in front of our face. We don't have friends. They showing us right in front of us. When we gonna wake up and smell the coffee and realize that we all we have. We got to stop trying to compete with each other, think that we are on worst enemy. We let European influencers think that we can become our own worst enemy, and we gonna ride along with that shit. We don't gotta go along with that shit. We're not each other enemy. That was the biggest weapon that the white supremacy had women go against a black man and had a black man go against a black woman. That was the biggest weapon that the white man had did to our psycho mindset. That's how he did to us. He psycho, like Dr. Nature Brain and brainwash you, got you thinking like him, saying you being your true identity. He got you being just like him. He don't got to do nothing to do us to no more. We are doing to ourselves. Self-destroying each other, hating on each other, don't speak to each other, looking down at each other, looking all mean and eat. What you looking at? I'm not your smile. I be hating in my city. I live in Philly, and our brothers and sisters are wicked and evil, and it's so wicked. I don't even know why they call it City of Bloody Love. Take that shit down. Stop calling that. This is not no City of Bloody Love. Come on, man. I call it City of Philadelphia. Because all it is jealousy, envy, and none of you. You ain't safe around your own people. It's bad enough white people don't like us. We don't like each other. It bothers me. It's sad that you got to worry about your own people do you more than the white people do you. It's a shame. It shouldn't be like that. You should be able to feel love around your people. You should be able to feel comfortable around your people. Not discomfortable. Come on now. I should be able to feel comfortable walking around you, feel protected and comfortable. Come on now, not discomfort. It's bad enough the system's against us. It's bad enough that nobody don't give a damn about us. They're trying to replace us. Come on, man. When we gonna realize that we all we have, my brothers and sisters. We give away trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars every year. Imagine if we keep that dollars amongst our own community and build our own school, build our own hospital, build our own whatever you call it, school, airplane. I'm talking about we had Black Wall Street and we could get back doing what we did back in the day. Because in the day, all hear excuse talking about they gonna bomb it again. They gonna come and bomb it again. That's lame excuse. Get back on your feet. Get back up and wake up. That's lame excuse. That's lame excuse. That is lame excuse. Get back on your feet. That means you're gonna surrender. So you're afraid that the white man gonna come down and destroy your town? Man, yeah, get back up. You're behind your fight. But if you don't fight, be prepared to surrender because we ain't gonna survive. Like they say, only the strong are gonna survive and weak gonna perish. And we live in that time right now. Like you were just saying, brother Forecast, we gonna all die. We don't come down, we don't come together and unite. Like I'm gonna keep saying, it's unite or die. Either or. We don't have no between, ain't none of that. It's unite or die. A lot of people you gonna have to leave behind, even your family. You gonna have to leave your family, some of them behind, because none of them ain't your friends. Because none of them supposed to be your blood family. They'll be the one that backstab you in a heartbeat. It be like they say, family will do you dirty more than a stranger out in the street. Some strangers treat you better than your own blood family treat you. You ever notice that? Strangers will treat you better than your own blood, thick of water. It's sad. I hate to say that. Because I had that happen to me. I got people treat me better than my own blood family treat me. Forecast. Shame. I'm just being honest. Y'all more like a family most of the time in this platform. Because y'all be speaking my language about coming together, unifying, Get your kids out of these European public school. It bothers me. We still sending our kids to these public school. What's up with that? And public school don't give a damn about your kids. All they do is program them to hate themselves and not to love themselves. They don't teach you how to finance, how to budget your money, how to create your own and all that, how to be independent. Stop depending on the system to do for you. Because in the day, you got to depend on yourself. Like I ain't worked a regular job for 18 years. I refuse to work the white man's job. Because that was my last regular job was at Walmart. I've been my independent for 18 years. I'm going on 19. This is going on 19 years now. I'll be 41 this year. My last regular job where I was 22 years old, where I worked at Walmart, punching the clock and all that. That shit, they didn't pay me enough money. I was one of their best workers. And he only paid me a penny. They give you, man, they pay you like slavery. Come on, man. I'm not gonna keep. I told myself, damn, they making so much money off us. They making billions. I think, my good, I can make my own money. I said, all I gotta do is learn how to budget, get older. When I get older, I just learn how to manage my money, invest my money the right way, and keep spreading my bread the right way. You do the right thing with your money, you can make it in this world, man. Because there's always a way around the system. You just got to believe in yourself and stop letting people say you can't do it. You always can do it. Believe in yourself. Be proud who you are. Stop being ashamed of your melanin. Your melanin is worth more than gold. Where we going to realize that you got the best melanin skin on the planet, brothers and sisters? Where we going to realize that? You should be happy to be melanin. You got people, you know how many people want to be you, but hate us at the same time? Everybody want to be us, but they don't like us. That's crazy, but they got us want to be like the Europeans. That's backwards. Make that make sense. How animals and lions and them got more loyalty to each other? They not even human, and they got more common sense than man. All of us been on the stage. How they got more unity than man, you, all us on the stage put together? Explain it. Why ants, crawling ants, and them got more unity than human beings? Can anybody explain that? Why? Animals and all them stay loyalty. They don't go out the way to try to defend somebody else. They stay with their own kind. How can we do that? Ain't no excuse. It ain't hard to do. Well, all you gotta do is get the wicked, fight that demon that's in our body and fight it. You have to fight the demon. The demon is in all of us half the time. You got to fight it. He will always outwin every day. He will lie. If you allow him to win, he will continue to win every day. You got to fight him out of your body and put love in your heart and let the guidance take over. Let the goodness take over. Get back to being queens and kings. Let's build each other up and love each other. Because in the day, ain't nobody's coming down and save us. We all we got. If we don't do it, we're gonna find ourselves being wiped off the planet. That's all I'm gonna tell you about, brothers and sisters. I agree with Queen 1000% what she be talking about. Stop sending your kids to these corrupt schools and you continue to do it. That's your fault. I don't feel sorry for you because you've been warned. Or you've been warned. You heard it from me too. Do for self. Stop pinning on the system that hate you. They don't want to see you come up. Look out for each other and empower each other. Stop killing each other down and get rid of that black on black crime and start loving each other. Let's work together and build and empower one another. And I pass my mic. Much love. Thank you, brother Forecast, for letting me on the stage, my brother. I miss y'all.
Yeah, bro. I'm glad you're here, man. And consider you heard my brother. Ants are smarter than us. Ants ain't gonna be divided over left and the right or whatever they call it these days. Liberal, progressive, whatever they say. I thought it was all but anyway, consider. You have successfully escaped, but you might as well come on back, consider, to America and get your job back with the white man.
No, sir.
And you might as
No,
well
sir. No,
give
sir.
up,
Do you hear me?
give up
No,
retirement.
sir.
You
But
Once
say
no,
no,
once you
sir.
get
I
consider.
free,
heard
you don't
that.
go back to bondage.
What
No,
part of
sir. You don't
country
get
you at?
free and go back. No,
Queen,
sir.
what part of country you at? I need to be where you at.
Mauritius.
What part? Huh?
Mauritius. Mauritius,
Mauritius?
Africa. Mauritius,
How they treat
Africa.
over there? How they treat over there? Because some part of Africa, they be hating on certain black people. How they treat you over there? How they treating you over there? Sis?
Fine.
Fine, so?
They treat me. I mean, I don't need them to treat me any kind of way. I mind my business. I do what I need to do. I'm at the beach. I'm at the lake. I'm doing me. It's not about them.
Yeah.
I
Oh yeah.
can't say how
Cassandra.
they treat me. I say, hey, how you doing? And I keep moving. I don't care nothing about any of that. My thing is safety. I'm safe. I feel safe. That's what's important to me. It's not about other people. Black folk in America don't like you. They don't know how to treat you, but we still stay,
You ain't
right?
never lied about
So
that,
I
sis.
think we hate it all over America, all over the world, right? So I don't think people, understand that. We still don't get it. It no matter where we go, we still gonna see something, no matter where you go. But my thing is safety first. I can walk around here and I feel safe. I'm not looking over my shoulder. I'm not hearing sirens. I'm not hearing about school shootings. I'm Everybody is minding their business. Everybody is so busy trying to eat and trying to make it in this world. They don't have time to worry about you. They don't. We don't
Yeah.
understand that.
Listen, man.
We have
Damn.
to, we treat each other the way we treat each other. And I'm gonna piggyback off of something that you said. We have to understand why we treat each other the way that we treat each other. We were taught to treat each other like that. We don't understand what the Democratic Party. We just following behind the rest of the folk. We don't understand that what the Democratic Party stand for, and I don't understand that because they've allowed them to come into the churches. But we know what the Democrats stand for. They stand for LGBT, transgender, right? We know that. But we'll still stand behind them. We'll still say, oh, they got us. They don't got you. They don't like you. If you don't like a man and you're a man, they don't like you. You're not liking a woman and you're a woman, they don't like you. If you're not trying to change your child's sex, they don't like you. We're not understanding this, right? We talk about the Black Caucus. We talked about even most of them are immigrants, and I'm not being funny. I have nothing against immigrants. But they know that. They know that they're not gonna come over here and support us. So what do? They put them in office, and we don't see any of them put anything on the books for this police brutality. We don't even see the Karen Basses that was part of Martin Luther King marches. We don't even see her putting anything in writing as far as police brutality. They know that they got these black folk that's coons in office, and every last friggin' one of them are coons. Warnock. Yeah, they may put a bill together, but they're not going to force it. They're not going to hurt white folk feelings. They're going to make sure. They're not going to make sure that it passes. Yeah, we'll put a bill. We're going to mention something about black folk. We're going to mention reparations. But when you see show me the proof of the pudding. Show me when you didn't made that bill come to life. White folk mention something, they do it. Black folk mention something, we never see it get done. They mentioned George Floyd bill. Still, did we get that done? They mention reparations. We getting that done? No, they'll mention it just to keep that dangling that carrot. And we keep going after that same carrot. Come on, you guys. No, it's time for us to build our own table. And I'm gonna tell you how to do it. I'm glad you asked. We have to first financially support a candidate. And I'm talking about a candidate that thinks black, talk black, walk black, and you already know that that person is going to do for black people. I don't have to say it, but you already know because of the core of what I stand for, that we're going to stand for black people. We're going to do for black folk. So we're going to support them financially. You understand what I'm saying? It's ways that you can get people in office, and we're going to give them a list. This is what we stand for. This is what we need you to do. And we can hold them accountable. We have weekly meetings and say, okay, this week you did blah, blah, blah. Next week we need you to do blah, blah, blah. And we're going to hold them accountable. And then if we see that they fickle fackle, okay, get them out. Let's get the next one. It's things that we can do to build our own tables. But I don't believe in the red or the blue. I believe in the green or the orange. I don't care anybody but red and blue. We have to have our own political party. And that's what it's going to take for black folk to come together, because we're not going to get all black folk. We're not going to get them all. We're going to get the ones that standing on the sideline, because eventually they'll join the race. But some of them, the 2/3 that's going to die, they're not going to be here no way. So we're not going to have to worry about them. But the ones that are ready to move forward, come together and move forward. And the ones that's on the sidelines will eventually join in. But them other ones, we'll never get them. So we ain't got to worry about them. But this is what we have to do. We have to stop talking about the red and blue. We don't even need this discussion. We don't even need to never talk about them again, because we already know that neither one of those parties is going to ever do, because they've already told you. Harris already told you, I'm not doing anything for just black people. I'm gonna do it for the Indians. They did. I'm gonna do it for the Pacific Islanders. They did. I'm gonna do it for the Jews. They did. But when it comes to black people, I'm not gonna do anything just for you. I can't. And what did Obama tell you? Oh, I'm a president for everybody. Bitch, let me tell you something. You did that for the LGBT. Okay, I'm not LGBT. So what did you do for me? You didn't do nothing for me. I'm not LGBT. I'm not transgender. I'm Cassie. Black first. So what did you do for me? Nothing. But you still have black folk. Woo, mama. Oh, he was the ex-president. He didn't do nothing for you. But you have to understand, black folk not used to get nothing. So of course he did nothing. And we accept nothing. And we didn't expect nothing. So he did just what they usually do. Nothing for black people, and we're okay with that. And then we'll make an excuse. Well, he couldn't do for anyone. He couldn't do this and he couldn't, but he did for transgender, dummy. He did for Pacific Islanders. He did for the Indians. Didn't he give Indians reparations? Come on, let's go, let's go, let's go. Yes, he did. But when it comes to black folk, he gonna say, I'm president for everybody. Okay, that's why I'm not voting for you. Yes. Didn't he get Indians reparations or casinos or something? Okay. Thank you. But he said he couldn't do nothing for black folk. But then he told, I'm the president of everybody. But did you do for everybody? Hell no. You did something for the LGBT and Indians.
You was in there preparing the office to promote gayness. That's what you was in the office for.
Exactly. But you telling me you the president for everybody. That ain't everybody, because I'm not LGBT. And I'm not Indian. So what did you do for black people? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, because he
So we
did on
gotta
the
get
talk show one
our
time.
mentality straight. We can't
I love
forget.
the queen. I love her.
But I'm gonna rest with that. I think y'all got the point. I'm gonna rest with that one.
I got the point.
No.
I love you speaking that truth, Queen. I love that.
No, I look, Cassandra, I'll say this, right? Because Obama was in Israel giving the Jewish people reparations, saying the Holocaust was the worst atrocity, you know what I'm saying, that has ever happened. Even though America had nothing to do with that, And I was gonna
10
show y'all a
millions, and
few.
you okay with it? Okay.
Yeah. But he to be fair, right? He did on a radio show where Bruce Springsteen say, "Oh, black people deserve it, but white people would have got mad at me if I had did it." So, but anyway, look, the point is though, right? You know what I
So
would?
now you're telling me he's a coward.
That's a puppet. He's a
telling me
puppet.
he's a coward.
That's what he is. He's a puppet.
Okay.
He's a puppet, a slave master. He exposed himself. That means you're a puppet there. I thought you're supposed to be a president. So you gotta be.
He grew up with them white folks.
Yeah. And look, and look, we only got 8 minutes into the video because it's on both sides, right? And this is why I can appreciate everybody here, because we all understand, and it ain't just because Israel have done many lives sitting there talking like about each individual thing, But I give black people 2 passes, right? Black people before Nat Turner, right? Anybody black people before 1730. I give them a pass, because they was learning what was going on. And the only other pass that I'll give, and MG2, I'm curious, did you vote for Obama the first time?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Did you vote for Obama the first time?
Hell no. I voted against him twice because I knew it, basically that he's not the kind of tool. Matter of fact, when he first got in, we did a radio show. I was part of a radio show, and it was right before the thing where Glenn Ford said, he held a forum in New York, and there was a lot of Obamites, and even some brokebacks were even there. They had the Black Panthers and everyone else, and they had actually tried to stop Glenn Ford when he was saying that we needed to be protected from Obama. And this was over there. It was a major thing they had in New York. It's online. You could probably see it. Incredible. But I was like at the forefront of a radio show, and I was telling everybody in the radio show, and there was a lot at the time. We had over 500,000 views or 500,000 listeners. And I said, he's going to be like the worst thing that ever happened. And I was trying to convince everyone within earshot to vote against him, because I knew that he was not the guy that was basically would make black folks competitive. And then it wasn't just then. I was at a financial conference, and at the time, I'll never forget this. In 2008, they have what's called the Money Show, and what that is that's like a bunch of rich whiteys, most of them Republican, whatever. And there was a guy there who was this dude, his living room was worth $200 million. He wanted me to edit a book for him because he wanted to get my trading concepts, and he asked me to be the editor for his book. And what had happened is he was fielding questions because he was the keynote speaker at a thing, at this money show thing. And what had happened was somebody asked him about Obama. And he said, Carl, can you come up on stage? I want you to field the questions for me. And keep in mind, you've got a lot of Rich Peckerwoods here. Most of them are like, in Congress and stuff like that. And he wanted me to actually field the questions as he was a keynote speaker. And I said, okay. So they asked me, they said, what do you think about Obama? And both me and Tim, this Peckerwood, we both said it simultaneously, no way. And everybody was surprised by me. The reason he said it is he says he was really pro-Obama, but he says, I want Obama to run 4 years from now when all this, 2008 thing is over, because I think Obama would be a great president then. And then they turned to me and asked, well, why didn't you want him? I said, because he's the worst thing since sliced bread, because he's not a competitive tool. When I know that this Peckerwood standing next to me wanted Obama, that made me know right away, I already made my decision. I said, there's no way in hell that I would ever vote for Obama ever again. I'm not like I did in the first time. But the thing is the thing that really nailed it for me, and this is when Obama was leaving office, 2016. I did the Hispanic America, whatever it is. I was doing a show there at the White House, at their White House, excuse me. And what had happened was Joe Biden, and I still have I have the video of it, of me over there. What had happened was Joe Biden and Obama were giving a keynote thing for the Hispanic American Month. And again, I was working for an artist. This artist was Hispanic, but we were doing a show there, and I just.
Oh shit! Hold on, and two fell off. And shouts out to my brother guy in the building.
We lose him?
Huh?
We lost him.
Yeah, he dropped off.
What?
He dropped off. He probably will come right back, but he probably dropped off by accident. But anyway, I was saying, I was asking that. I guess Icon Fire dropped off too. I was gonna let him speak too, but no. The only reason I was asking that because I would be like, the only time I would give black people a pass, it would be, the first time Obama, because I didn't vote for him either time, but maybe I should have for the culture. I don't know the first time, but the second time, no. But I don't know, but I never did. But anyway, consider we only got like 8 minutes into this video, and this was like the most coon stuff I ever heard, and I ain't even get to the coon stuff yet. So, but speaking of something, I just want to show you one thing. Check this out, consider.
Post 9. Founder and CEO of Cato Network, Shlomo Kramer, also cyber warfare shaping geopolitics right now.
So AI is going to revolutionize cyber warfare, is revolutionize cyber warfare from critical infrastructure to the fabric of society and politics, and undermining it, giving unfair advantage to authoritarian governments against democratic countries, First Amendment type of.
That's already happening?
That's already happening. You're seeing the polarization in countries that allow for the First Amendment and protect it, which is great. And I know it's difficult to hear, but it's time to limit the First Amendment in order to protect it, and quickly before it's too late.
What do you mean?
I mean that we need to control the platforms, all the social platforms. We need to stack rank the authenticity of every person that expresses themselves online, and take control over what they are saying based on that ranking.
The government.
The government should
control the social media.
Yeah, should do that. And we need to educate people against.
Well, they got this thing called courts and jail and prison, and but consider it was several things that I wanted to show and talk about, but we're not gonna get there today. But I do want to show you these last couple things that we're gonna go off with, right?
Ladies, this one is for you.
This one's for you,
We have
Cassandra.
thousands of you in our inbox, and you're all looking for white men. Well, I'm going to tell you, don't date a white man just for status. A white man is not going to change your life. We are
The
just the
hell?
same as a black guy. A white man can be broke. A white guy can
So
cheat.
not. He's a murder
A
ass.
white man can have a white.
he's trying to explain to you. All these black
And he
girls
can
was
murder him.
DMing him. See, Icon Fire would have wanted to go in on this subject. That's why I was going to pass it to him after this. But all these black women DMing this white boy, talking about, because I was going to go in. This was a part of the Democrat thing, because the Democrat girl kept talking about some queers and all this other nonsense, and her husband is white and all this stuff, But he's trying to tell you, Cassandra, don't just DM
Just for
him for this.
status. A white man is not going to change your life. We are just the same as a black guy. A white man can be broke. A white guy can cheat.
He ain't
A white
never gonna
man
worry about
can
the
have a
top him
wife.
and help.
He is not married, so he can have another girlfriend.
You don't want no Cassandra?
We are exactly the same as the black race. So please do not.
Well, no, they're not the same
I
at
want to
all. We're
live in
not.
that time. Most of them, we need to do a show. No, they're not. You need to do a show on how many white men actually kill their black wives, and vice versa.
Kill the whole family.
I think we forget that. Exactly. And what they call them? They call them. They call them. They gave them a name for them when they kill the whole family. It's a documentary, and I think I showed it to you. I sent it to you. And they
What they
call
call
them
them? What?
something. I can't remember
They
the
call
name.
them. They call them white boys. They just call them white
Serial
boys.
killers.
That's all.
Serial killers. And you got my dating them things. Shit, I want to live, honey. You wake up there messing with them things. Everybody
And
mess with
look,
them. Everybody who might they touch wake up dead or PTSD. Which one you want?
and look at this fool, Cassandra, because we gonna talk. Because I ain't gonna leave the brothers out.
You said the N-word with my black boyfriend here. He did not say it to DJ. It doesn't matter. I don't give a age. Yeah, because you're parents, bro. Yeah. White supremacy. Yeah. The man, the myth, the legend.
What always
Now the black boyfriend is just sitting there. You see this
looking
fool?
crazy.
Her daddy just called her the N word. Nigga is what he said. And then you got brothers like this, who
Our
finally
books have been
realize
banned
what's going on
or
here.
challenged in districts around the country for the crime of being
Damn,
too
pig.
multicultural. These are books for very young kids that focus on some
His damn mixed son.
universal issues, being proud of your identity, what it means to be a true friend, and having empathy for others. Not too controversial, right?
Because they like, and this is what pisses me off. Talking about a black woman. Yo, what's going on, my brother MD2? Yo, MD2, I don't know if you saw this, but check it out. But I know you've seen this already, but I just want you to know what's about to happen to
I
you
mean that
from the
we need
shyster's
to
point of view.
control the platforms, all the social platforms. We need to stack rank the authenticity of every person that expresses themselves online and take control over what they are saying based on that ranking.
The government.
The government should
The government should do it.
should do that, and we need to educate people against lies, and government need to develop cyber defense programs that are as sophisticated as the cyber attack. Today, it's a 1 to 100.
Because when brothers come on here saying stuff, I don't know where the hell they been. Because even white bitches can't save them, like with the good old Tay Diggs. Ask him if they monitor your speech or challenge your what you say,
Our
because he
books
can't
have
even write
been
a book
banned
to mulatto
or
kids.
challenged in districts around the country for the crime of being too multicultural. These are books for very young kids that focus on some pretty universal issues, being proud of your identity, what it means to be a true friend, and having empathy for others. Not too controversial, right? Unfortunately, that is
Very
not the case.
What it means to be a true friend. First, you can't be somebody's friend until you love your damn self. How can you love anybody else if you don't love your damn self? Right? And your damn. You know what? John Henry Clark said this mulatto book. That should be the next next series we work the mulatto and why they ain't you. You know what I'm saying, and why you should stop making them. But anyway, MD2, you can finish what you were saying.
Oops. Yeah, I don't know how. I had lost connection, so I don't know how much got there in terms of when you were asking me about Obama. The short answer is hell no. Okay, him or any one of the others. I don't know how much got before I got cut off, but I did too many shows when I was doing gigs, and I played their White House probably 3 or 4 times when Obama was in office, and I did the one of the first gigs over at Radio City. Trump was the promoter, and all I know is in terms of being able to use as a tool. Democrats, from what I've seen, Democrats are definitely not that kind of a tool that Black folks can use, because clearly we have been trying to for years, and it hasn't produced the results that made us competitive. Okay, it hasn't produced the results that made us go ahead and win. So, there's a statement that Einstein stole from Black folks that, insanity is repeating the same thing over and over and trying to get different results. I seriously think that we've been trying to repeat something for about 70 years with Democrats and liberals and all this other stuff, and we're trying to get different results. So therefore, I think that they should redefine insanity in the dictionary and just put somebody like Ray Ray and Pookie on the picture, and therefore it would get more of a clarification in terms of what true insanity is. And it starts with Black folks voting Democrat and or Republican. I'll pass the mic.
Yeah, I'll contact the dictionary and give them Kofi picture. Now I'm joking, but um listen, man. The problem is, consider I tried to tell you, and I be joking, only to keep from crying, but we are definitely doomed. First of all, because you see, when we talk about, oh yeah, like we need to, have healthy dialogues between men and women. Let's improve our parent-children
Not
relationships.
all of us.
Nobody talking though. Nobody being here when we talking though. But as soon as we talk about some nonsense like Republican and Democrat, like that's gonna do anything, then you see people coming
It's a
in.
bloody
We
road.
have it's a party, you know what I'm saying? I'm ready to like, and if we talk about religion, if we start debating about religion, it's gonna be a whole bunch of people in here. And I don't know if we see the theme or the pattern, and we are so entrenched into their culture, into American culture. Because I'll be like, it's the same thing on the other side with you. We are not Americans or none of that stuff. We so entrenched into other people's culture that we are doomed. I'm going to be real with you. I'm not going to lie, because hearing people that I love talk, like I be calling like the people that I love coons. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'd be like, I can't be hard on a coon. If I can tell you right now that my mom would probably be in that category, you know what I'm saying? And other people that I love would be in that category. You know what I'm saying? And the thing that would hurt me in the most in the world would be something to happen to my family and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like, and Considera is like, she stands on what she believes in. You know what I'm saying? She would do whatever off what she believes in. And she's my inspiration too, because like at the end of the day, like what do we really want? Do we want to be free or not? You know what I'm saying? Like, and like, I guess I'm talking around it, but at the end of the day, right? Like, it took for my mom to be like, oh, well, we gotta, like, whatever, and America is racist. Like, really? And she used to call me racist. She used to call me racist, and it's not offensive because racist is not a bad thing. I'm like, why the hell aren't you racist? That's what I don't understand. And this is the problem, because when push comes to shove, what I be saying on here, I'm not joking. You know what I'm saying? I'm not playing around. Like, when I be like, I thought that we all wanted to destroy the system, not to be like, oh well, we just gotta wait till the next time because some black people done lost it. I hope all black people lose their goddamn jobs. I'm gonna be real. I hope I get all of us. You know why? Because then we don't have no other choice but to start doing what we was doing the first time we didn't have no be able to get jobs. When we still become successful, I still have faith in black people. Like I know that our creativity or whatever. But what I don't have faith in is, first of all, our cowardness, and second, that we this love or some whatever it is. I don't know if it's love or whatever, or some kind of righteousness that we seem to have. You know what I'm saying? And I don't believe in this stuff. But if we are cursed, that's the curse that we think we can love our way out of whatever, and we will fight each other. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a little bit better this way. And it's not. It's not. Like, the what we didn't talk about is benign neglect policy. You know what I'm saying? This is the policy. Because what you can't do is take the root out of something. If I take the roots from out of a tree, the tree is going to die. What is the roots of America? Your blood. Literally, your blood is the root of America. You know what I'm saying? And we're not gonna act like the drug war was like this Nicaraguan war, which is the same thing that happened the other day with freaking Venezuela. But for some reason, we only care when it's non-black people and when it's affecting everybody. But you know what? I hate to say it, but at least we ain't the only ones dying. Now at least everybody gonna die with us. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the positive news I got for you. Now we all gonna die. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna just be us. And that's a low bar to shoot for, but it's your fault. You know what makes the Democrat the most dangerous? You make them the most dangerous because you get so comfortable talking about my president is black, my Lambo is blue, and all we got to do is wait till 2 more years until we get Congress and flip that, and then still make excuses why they don't do something for us. But that's not American policy because that would be stupid. Because if I had a country, you think I'm gonna let some radical white people in talking about, like the Irish, you know what I'm saying? We the true Irish, you know what I'm saying? I'm not letting them in my country. I wouldn't let any of them in, to be honest with you. But if I did, I would let the coons in, the Benedict Arnolds, what they call the coon white people, the Benedict Arnolds. Those the ones I'm gonna let in. You know what I'm saying? And then the fact that even with our arguments, we gaslight each other. That's what be pissing me off because when I be like, we be talking about all these subjects, and before when we was talking about the Americans versus black people, well, there ain't too many black immigrants. But now all of a sudden, when it's Trump, well, it's affecting black immigrants too. Well, you know what? It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry to hear that. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I said you was a great like we know that they all see us as the Negro, but I'm sorry. You know what? It is what it is. I ain't got nothing to lose, so I guess I can say this kind of stuff. And you got children, but you're gonna be slaves forever, forever, forever if you don't ever wake up, like, and stop saying this weak ass stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. Because, like, there is no such thing as the lesser of two evils. I don't care if you're saying French, German, I don't care if you're saying Filipino or Japanese. I don't care if you're saying Arab or Mexican. I don't care if you're saying Republican, Democrat. I don't care what you say, Irish or whatever. Ain't no lesser of two evils. You know what I'm saying? And the truth is, I'm starting not to care if you say mulatto. You know what I'm saying? I'll do that stuff that John Henry Clark said. And then you try to pass this girl off like she a black woman, and then like it's the gaslighting part that black people try to do to each other. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what the hell is going on. I know when they said what they said, and I know. I'm gonna stop right there. Yo, Rashid, you want to? I'm gonna let Cassandra go last because I appreciate her for coming on here today. Rashid, you want to say something?
Yeah, I enjoyed being on the stage, man. I was just coming say hi to everybody, man. I ain't been on the stage for a minute, man. I just decided to pop up on you, see what's going on. Listen to you for Brother Forecast, Sister Queen, and all that, everybody else. But I enjoy being on this stage. But like I said, we got to come together, stop relying on two parties that's never going to do nothing for us. Like, it ain't no such thing less of the evil. The evil is evil. Wherever you call it, whoever you want to call it, they both parties are evil, wicked. To me, they all one party. They just got a different name. You hear me? They all one party. Ain't no such thing, no Democrats, Republicans. In the day, they all work at the same wings. They all white supremacy in the day. Cause in the day, they just that they one is open and one be hiding it. But in the day, nobody's coming down to save us. In the day, we gotta work together and stop looking towards them that help us. That never gonna help us. Create your own reparation and create your own. Because we got the funds and spending. We spend the most money empowering everybody else that's never gonna empower you. Empower yourself and love yourself. Stop being ashamed because you see this person doing good. Be proud of that person. I want you be successful, be happy. I don't want you to be misery. We wasn't brought down on this planet to be misery and all that. You brought down to enjoy life and have a good time. Live life. Stop giving away your life. You throwing away your life. Just enjoy your life and enjoy the moment while you living. Like I said, we all we got. We must come together and unite, or else get wiped off the planet. I love y'all, brothers and sisters. Y'all have a good, wonderful night. Hope to be back on your platform, Brother Forecast.
Yeah, my brother. Hey, I'm glad to hear from you, bro. I'm glad you're all right too, bro.
I am glad to hear. I am, man. I'm glad to hear from you too. All right, Queen.
All right, so
Take care.
Sister, take care.
and MD2, I guess I'm gonna learn yes in Russian. I guess that's the next language.
Yeah.
I got it in Democrat pretty good. I'm gonna learn language.
If they make you say ya sir, or spasiba, say niet. The thing is, Brother Forecast is, and one of the channels I wanted to give you was called Global News Official. That is one of my favorite Chinese, quote unquote. It's not really Chinese. It's a geopolitical channel. And when you were talking, you brought up some really important points. First off, I have to thank Rashid, because Rashid definitely hit the nail on the head with a lot of things that I was just listening to. I mean, I was just like, yep, he's right. Yep, he's right. One of the things that they did, Brother Forecast, is that channel shows that as much as in modern day, China's being sanctioned from chips to this, that, and the other, and all they do in a very cynical tone is say, China doesn't care. They built their own. You know, I mean, they literally did. And it's not like I'm pro-Chinese, because they are also my competitor. But there's one thing, no matter what it is, all these new different technologies, all these new sanctions, everything else, China said, I don't care. I'm just going to build our own. Now it's to the point where the Peckerwoods are kidnapping other presidents because China's like, look, we don't need you anymore. They're telling these crackers, we don't need you. The thing is, Brother Forecast, is black folks want to be needed. That's the problem. They want they need somebody, and then they need to be needed. China's not the only one. Indonesia and other nations are now going to the point where they're like, look, we don't want nothing to do with United States or these Peckerwoods. We don't know. Hey, let them die in the vine. The thing is now the crackers are trying to, make themselves indispensable. And it's really unfortunate, the only species on this planet that are, crackers made themselves indispensable to are black folk, because we need to be needed, and we need them to need us. And it's unfortunate, but hopefully that'll change soon. And if there's anything, Brother Forecast, when I talked about pushing the button on some of these latest videos that I have, I don't care how you push it, whether you get a nuke and do it physically, or whether you re-change their entire medical system and make it so where that black folks have no diseases. Whatever you do, it has to be a threat to these enemies. No matter if you're an inventor, as you know me, I like innovation and inventing. Invent something that's going to be a threat. Look at what happened with Madagascar. When COVID came out, You had Britain come out with the AstraZeneca thing. You had China come out with their Sinovac. You had Russia come out with its I can't remember the name of the but all these other nations said we're going to develop our own vaccine. Madagascar said, yeah, we got something called COVID organics. It was supposed to be a drink, even though whether it worked or not, it doesn't matter. What that was a threat. And what did United States do? They said, oh, we need to get these Negroes to put, this Dr. Fauci stuff in their arms. Because that in and of itself, other nations decided to invent their own cure, which is a threat. Me working on inventing trading systems to make, not all black folk, but just knowledgeable black folk wealthy, that's a threat. I told you the story about the young brothers. The reason I'm into trading and whatnot is because I saw what they did with the neighborhood. I think it was either South Carolina or something like that. And this neighborhood was Section 8. They taught this whole neighborhood through the churches how to trade markets and had these real special carry trades and stuff that folks were not doing back then. They were not doing it like these brothers were doing it. It got so much to where folks that were living 200 miles away from a lake were having boats in their yard. They went from Section 8 to having boats in their yard and having manicured lawns. The drug dealing went down. Brothers stopped re-upping into their military. They started, because these 3 brothers came in and they brought something to be a threat to these crackers and made this entire neighborhood where black folks are at very wealthy. And that's what inspired me. It got to the point where they actually indicted these brothers and they're still doing time because of what these brothers did for this community. They don't care. This community does not have their sons fighting in wars for these crackers anymore. They don't have to worry about cops showing up because of Ray Ray and Pookie are trying to sell crack or anything. They have manicured lawns, boats, and their refrigerators are full because of what these brothers did for them. That's a threat. Somebody who can develop a good weapon that could be used against an entire police battalion, you best believe I will follow that individual even into hell if I have to. Why? Because that's a threat against our enemies. What I mean by that is I know how you feel, Brother Forecast. The thing is, by watching Global News Official, they reinforced the level of independence. Now, not a lot of folks are going to think like you and I, and definitely they're not going to be able to think like Sister Cassandra or Rashid. They don't have the capacity to think that deep. The thing is, Brother Forecast, irrespective, invent something, do something that is so, that is the most threatening thing that crackers can't, or anyone, Arabs, Asian, whatever, Russians, whoever, that they will kill each other to make sure that they could do your dishes to make sure you don't deploy what you've created. Okay, you want to make sure that Elon Musk is up there licking the ground so your feet don't get dirty. That's how important whatever you created is, whether it's a weapon, whether it's a cure, whether it's financial, whatever it is. That Global News Official is something I learned in terms of self-reliance, because that's what China did. They created 2 and 1 nanometer chips, and now the entire tech sector is now frightened and scared that they're going to go defunct in United States because China said, look, we've got our own Black Wall Street. You're not going to burn this one down. And now these Peckerwoods are kidnapping presidents because of it. So anyways, thank you guys so much. And, always looking forward to listening to you guys there, brother Forecast, Sister Cassandra, always looking forward. Anyways, peace.
Yeah, and I appreciate you, MD, too, because you come on when we talk about Black history and important subjects, and this ain't even the important subject, you know what I'm saying? But so I appreciate you for coming on here. And Cassandra, before I even pass it to you, let me say this, because I want to hear what you got to say, and for this whole thing, and shouts out to my brother Bakari and all of that stuff, and I will say this, right? My only thing is sometimes, like, my brother, like, I'll be like, I don't know, it's just be sometimes it's a support of something that we can see from a mile away. I know, like, Cassandra and MG2 is like, y'all coon radars are on point, you know what I'm saying? Like, and a lot of anti-us stuff be like supported, you know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to word it in a nice way, you know what I'm saying? But
Nope, just go ahead and say it. Stop it. Word it. Say it. Say it. Spit it out. All of that he in it. Say what you gotta say.
nah,
What
okay,
you trying to say?
and this is my brother, you know what I'm saying? So it ain't no
It's
negative
all
stuff,
love.
but It's like it's and it's black people because I tell my mom, I call my mom, I said like, that you think the white man ice is colder, you know what I'm saying? I didn't call like girls that I'm in a relationship with coons before, you know what I'm saying? So don't take it personal. But when I be like, I'm not hard on the coon, like some of the stuff that black people be saying be some coon, like clone ass stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it's weak behavior, and it disgusts me. Like not personally as the person, but for to see black men to say a lot of weak stuff. You know what I'm saying? And this is not to Bakari that part, but to Bakari is be like, yo. Sometimes my brother is just be like you be one-sided in it, and then you support a lot of brothers who be saying some clone stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like I can give like examples and stuff like that, but it's a mentality with black people where we be like so one-sided, you know what I'm saying? And because I don't want to, I don't want to say it
I
because
can take it from you. Let me take it from there. I got you. Let me take it from there. Bakari's my brother. I love him. But what he reminds me of, and I'm gonna be honest, and I ain't trying to hurt nobody because that's my brother. I listen to him regardless. But what bothers me is most black people think like that and don't think nothing, and they don't think nothing's wrong with it. They'll tell you, "Oh, I don't care if you don't vote, but blah 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 about the Democratic Party. I'm not voting for them. I don't give a damn what you say, because all they do is suggest, but not do anything." I want people to understand this conversation is not entertainment, right? This is to help you to wake up. Because like forecasts keep telling you, y'all doomed. I say y'all, I didn't say me. Y'all, you still in
All of us,
America?
Cassandra.
You
All of
still
us.
no sir, no sir, no sir. No sir. I ain't gonna no. Okay. Because you got some folk that's doing the work, that's getting out, that's doing the work, doing what needs to be done, that's investigating to see, okay, where can I go that's gonna take my income? What visa can I get? You got a lot of black folk that have left America already because we know what's coming. You stay in America, and I'm talking to everybody that's still in America right now. If you're still there, you better have a way out, because what's coming is going to be worse than what you think 1865 was bad. It's going right back. And you can see it by the laws that he's putting in place now. You can see he's turning that clock back. Everything that we voted for, the Civil Rights Bill, gone, right? Everything that we did that hard work for is gone because he's reversing it. They're going to, and I'm going to tell you what, I do believe they're going to have segregation again. And that's going to be good for black people. Stay out of their faces. Create your own shit over here. Create your own businesses. And you can start right now. Start right now, because you're going to need it. Because it's going to be jobs. And they're already starting. Because I used to work for a company, right? Before I retired, I worked for a company that we did hiring. And I was telling black folks, they're not hiring black people. I'm in the background. I'm looking at it because I'm submitting the applications. We're talking about black men with degrees. They'll give it to an Indian with no education, no degree. But then a black man with a degree that had experience, they looked over him because the job was paying $40 an hour. They gave it to an Indian, okay? Because I investigated, because I wanted to see who they were going to get his job to, because I knew my guy was qualified, right? Because he was working for a bank and got laid off. So I knew he had all this experience, but they didn't want to get that brother that $42 an hour job. That's what it was, right? They was paying him. They gave it to an Indian who had no experience, who had just got out of school. Give me a break. I was fired up. I was pissed then. I said, they're not hiring black folk. That wasn't the only scenario. There was plenty more scenarios. But I was telling black folk then, I said, y'all better look for something else to do, because they getting ready to take all your jobs. And right now with AI, you think they not? Oh, them trucks is driving by themselves. They're coming. Ain't nobody gonna be having no job in America. They're gonna put y'all on the standard income. People don't understand this, what's coming. We're not talking about enough of what's coming. Yes, you can save water. You can save your canned goods. You can do this and the other. But are you gonna be able to fight their system? Are you gonna be able to survive the system? They got this flu thing they said coming out. They get ready to lock you down again. Think they not? They already putting it out there like they did with COVID. They putting it out there. You know, it's that flu, and they getting ready to lock you down again. Once they lock you down this time, you ain't coming out. I'm telling you, if you don't hear nothing else I ever said, you better hear me today. You better hear me today. And I know black folks think, oh, she just talk. Okay, go ahead, stay there. I'm already out. So you can stay there. You think I'm lying? You think you don't believe me? You don't have to. Just like McCory said, I don't care if you believe me now. You don't have to. But I'm going to tell you what, you're going to wish you had. Because if you stay in this next shutdown, if you stay there, you're going to die. Because it's going to be so hard to get out of America. When they shut them gates and they close them planes down, it's going to be hard to get out. It's going to be hard. They getting ready to turn the clock back to all the way. And Trump is putting stuff in place now. But we have to understand what he's doing. He's making it harder so that black folk won't have nowhere else to go but to America. Because he's fighting with every country out there that's black. He didn't boycott it or banned 30 African countries out of 54. Why? Because he want to make them so mad at you, mad at him, to just like Burkina Faso said, ain't no Americans coming over here. They didn't shut the door, black and white folks. You see what I'm saying? You see what he put in place? He's making them so mad that they shut the door to black people. So if you're already there, okay, I don't know what they're going to do. If they've already given you a visa, I don't know how they're going to do that. But as far as today, nobody black can go to Burkina Faso. And he's doing that on purpose. But also, people not understanding, the red and the blue party, political party, the Democrats looking at black folks and they're getting ready to come back to us. They didn't do nothing for you. They're not going to do nothing for you. But every 4 years, when the Republicans act the fool, black folk turn back around and say, okay, please forgive us for leaving you, Democrats. We coming back. And they know that. Black folk going to be voting Democratic again in another 4 years. If they don't change this thing, and if they still have the Democratic, because they talking about getting rid of it, they talking about the third term and all this other stuff, right? I don't know what's coming, but I'm going to tell you what. If they do have a Democratic Party, black folk going right back to them because Trump doing too much in their mindset. Instead of them creating their own political party right now, they're going to go right back to the basics, the blue, because that's all they know. Because they said, well, look, we ain't been getting nothing. They ain't going to do nothing. They ain't never did nothing. So we ain't losing nothing, right? That's the conversation with black people. They dangled a carrot. Jasmine dangled a conversation and said, oh, reparations. And black folk ears went up and said, oh, she mentioned reparations. She didn't tell you she didn't have a plan. She didn't tell you she was going to get it. She said the word. And what did we do? Oh, we're going to give her vote because she mentioned reparations. What the hell? She didn't give you a plan. She didn't even have a plan for black people. She didn't even mention black people. She mentioned one word, reparations, and black folk ears perked up and they said, oh, we're going to vote for her again because she mentioned reparations. Not saying that she had a plan. Not saying that she was going to give you. Not saying anything about black people, period, because she talks about immigrants. But that's what most black folk talk about, immigrants. They don't talk about black folk because that's who's putting money behind them. Immigrants are. Black folk don't put money behind black folk. So that's why they don't talk about black business. They are talking about who's putting money behind them. And we never financially support any of our candidates because we don't understand the game, the political game. We really don't understand it locally. We don't get it. But we've got to do something now. And now is the time to build. Now is the time to support our black farmers. We'll sit up there and let them go out of business. We need to be supporting them because we're going to need them for where we're going. Whether you know it or not, we're going to need them black farmers because you ain't going to be able to get none. You ain't going to be able to get none at the store if you don't have what they call this digital ID. They already trying to make it mandatory for you to fly with it. They'd already put something, say, hey, you're going to pay extra money if you don't have a digital ID. They already putting things in place. Y'all don't understand this. Y'all don't understand this. You don't have it, you're going to have to pay a fee, $45. And that's good for 10 days. When you get ready to come back from your vacation, you still don't have it, that's another $45 for 10 days. I'm telling you, they put things in place now for what we call the New World Order. And we don't even talk about that. People don't believe in that. People don't even understand what the New World Order is about. They don't even understand that Trump putting stuff in place right now for that. Right now as we speak. We don't talk about that enough. Why? That's what's coming. People not even investing. They said, oh, we're supposed to be investing. People don't even know. They're not even investing in what? What we investing in? People don't even understand it. We're supposed to get having our passport. Some people don't have a passport. Why don't you have a passport? We talk about weapons. Some people still don't have a weapon. How you gonna protect yourself, family? I know I'm getting off the subject. I do. I understand. But all of this is included. All of this is important. I have to wake you up to everything. I can't just stay on one topic. Democrat, Democrat. That's an old song right there. We got to talk about the new. We got to talk about where it's going. We got to talk about how we need to be prepared for where they're taking us. And most Black folk are not prepared. They don't have extra water. They don't have a passport. They don't have extra money. And then what you gonna do when they close down the government again at the end of January? Because they said they're gonna do it again. He already told you. I'm shutting it down again in January because they did this little whatever, the agreement till January, the end of January. He gonna shut that down again. And I guarantee you, the people that lost in food stamps for, they didn't do anything different. They spending up that money. They did their Christmas. They ate for Thanksgiving. They ate for Christmas. And they still didn't do nothing different. This man don't care nothing about you, family. He don't care nothing about the red or the blue. He don't care about people, Black people, red. If you don't have any money to put toward that $250 million ballroom, you're done. He don't like you either. And them crackers gonna find out. He's starting to fight with everybody. We gonna be in a war in the land and out there. People don't even understand what he's setting up. But are you ready to fight this civil war that's coming? Oh, it's coming. Oh, I'm talking about all of it. I'm including all of it in my last words. Because I want y'all to wake up to what's coming. I want you guys to see it. If you think I'm lying, come on here and let me know I'm lying. Come on up here and give me some information that I don't have. Because I'm touching on everything, but I want you guys to go and research. Maybe I don't have all the details, but you go and get your details. Go get the details for me and bring it back to me so I can be more informed. Because I'm always open for education. Because guess what? Cassie planning. Oh, I'm in another country, but I'm still planning for my family because I have family back there. Oh, I'm planning for them. I got a place for them to come. And anybody else on here that want to come. If we got to do 2 apartments, we'll do what we got to do. But my door's open because you're going to need it. But just get your passport, have you some extra money in your house where you can get your hands on so you'll be able to do what needs to be done. Because I'm telling you what, if you don't have enough, we're not even coming together to be able to support each other because you barely have enough water for you and your family. So how am I come over there? How's anybody extra gonna come over there and get a bottle of water? Because some of them only got 5 bottles and they got 10 people in their house, got 5 bottles. What are we gonna do, share a bottle? Yes, they are, because they don't understand what's coming. They don't understand how important it is to even get canned goods right now. Get your matches. We've been talking about the dark, we've been talking about the grid, been talking about all that stuff, but still people are not being prepared. They're not preparing. But I'm gonna rest with that.
No, yeah, and listen, and I'm gonna say this right, and because I appreciate everybody who came on here. I appreciate you,
Yeah.
Icon, Rashid, MG2, and I appreciate my brother Bakari. And let me say this because you said something that made me think of a more respectful way to do it. Because I got the utmost respect for my brother Bakari, and me personally,
Absolutely.
I'll never let no Republican Democrat stuff
Right.
make these. Now listen, and the thing is though, there's a reason why I always said I'm not as hard on the coon as other people. And the thing is, you can't be, and I'm not calling my brother that, but I would say that you can't be a little bit coon though, or clone or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of, because and before, right? Because I tried to tell my brother. Because one thing that, and I guess I'll say it like this, right? So it don't sound crazy, right? Um, I hate when black people be like, "Well, we got to work with what we got, right? We got to work with what we got. We might not got what we want, but we got to work with what we got." Now, I
What
don't
we
know
got?
how ignorant is it, because when you think about what we do have, right? And this is why I be like, like, listen, when I tell you this person has clone tendencies, you start to see that this person has clone tendencies. And I don't call my brother Bukhari a Democrat or nothing like that. But other brothers who come on there or who they, I do have a problem sometimes when my brother be supporting. He be so one issue minded, one track minded, like it'd be like when it's the ADOS versus FBA. So you support somebody like Pan African strike. I tried to say, like, yo, this dude is like, listen to what he says. Like, it sets off a red flag to me every time he talks that this is clone behavior. Right? I understand that it's mental illness, though. That's why I'm not hard on it. And people got mad at me. And when I be saying stuff, sometimes I say it in a, I guess, joking manner, and it's only to keep from crying because it hurts my soul to my depths, you know what I'm saying? To the point where I wasn't even doing the lives like I was doing like before, you know what I'm saying? And when I be like, when somebody makes excuses like, oh, well, if I was Joe Biden, I would pardon my son and all, that's a red flag for like coon behavior, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say you are, but that's certainly a red flag. And what I've learned from my life is to trust the damn red flags that I see. You know what I'm saying? And when I be
Yes.
trying to tell my
Yes.
brother, sometimes you cannot be so one track minded or one sided when it comes to certain things, you know what I'm saying? And especially, this is why I show things like when I showed Jasmine Crockett, because I said, we're not going to let them gaslight us this time. We showed Jasmine Crockett from a long time ago, right, saying this stuff about well, I don't believe in taxes, which had nothing to do with the political race, but and it's not for that, but it's for reasons why, like how we get brainwashed a lot. People say, well, this person does this, but that's not how it was. You know what I'm saying? That's not what happened exactly. You know what I'm saying? And this time I'm alive enough and I've actually went through it this time. So now I know, well, let me document it right now because I remember with Kamala Harris, you know what I'm saying, who ain't no black. And I'm because
Come
y'all
on
know that
now.
I've been saying this stuff about mulatto people, you know what I'm saying? Then you try to push her on me like a black woman and you and all of this other stuff. When these people was against this person, but then I saw when they switched as soon as they realized that goddamn Joe Biden, old cricket ass, you know what I'm saying, was too old to do anything, then like they tried to gaslight us, you know what I'm saying? And we're not gonna let that shit happen this time, you know? And so we like I was like, let me show it this time beforehand, you know. But my point is though, you know, sometimes when you get like so one-sided and like one track minded, like we lose sight. And I'm like, yo, what is the goal of black people? Because that's what it made me like, maybe we don't have the same goals as a people, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe we just want to be comfortable. Because I used to be like, what do we want? Comfort, equality, or freedom? Which that damn sure ain't freedom. And I know it ain't equality, so we just want comfort. You know what I'm saying? So it's not anything like a personal thing, you know what I'm saying? But yo, when black people get to a certain point, like black people, I recognize that this pattern, and I'm sure you consider seeing it before and MG too, but now I'm like starting to get to an age where I'm like, all right, I knew it this time, and then they tried to gaslight me. So like let me have the evidence this time, and I'm pretty sure y'all know the next three stages that I'm gonna go through. You know what I'm saying? But my point is, why we're doomed is because like even in these situations where I be trying to tell my brother it ain't even about any of that stuff, we still go back to the basic talking points, you know what I'm saying? And my only problem with Bakari is sometimes coon behavior is condoned a lot and excused, you know what I'm saying? And that be my only issue with it, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know. I'm like starting to forget where I was going with it. So, you know what? The point is like enough everybody's listening now that we saying this kind of stuff, but you know what? Like it is what it is. And I'd be well said, yo, if I was more friendly, I would have more friends, but I pick her as the person that I would be like I look up to because she spoke what needed to be said. You know why she called out Marcus Garvey? You know what I'm saying? She said, I hope Marcus Garvey ain't scamming the people. You know what I'm saying? Because he might be. She says, she was like, yo, I don't know if he is or not. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to support him and I'm going to do what I have to do to like because I appreciate what his message is. You know what I'm saying? I know they're trying to set him up. But she was like, yo, if I bit my tongue, I would have way more friends. But I'm glad that she didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be honest with you. That's why I look up to her, because she didn't bite her tongue. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, a little bit of coon, but there is no such thing as little bit of coon behavior. You are or you aren't. You know what I'm saying? And black people think that it's obvious with like certain people, like the dude Tommy and Jason Whitlock. But I guess for some reason to black people is less obvious if you cooning for certain white people. There is no such thing as, I'm gonna stop right there. I don't know if any one of y'all got something to say, but I ain't gonna say nothing else. MG2, you
Basically,
good?
brother forecast. I like the way you say that. I call it selective coonossery. Selective coonication. They can coon for these folks, but then they'll coon for these selective points of white folks. And what you and Sister Cassandra are saying, like I said, there's not a lot of folks that have the same capacity of thoroughness that you guys have. I mean, you're seeing things holistically, or you're seeing things objectively. Like, hey, Sister Cassandra, I mean, just let me know when your next live stream is, and I'll make sure that I wake up. I'll stay up all night just to watch it, because the thing is these Peckerwoods are up against the wall. They're in a lot of trouble. And a lot of folks that look like us, we might call them us and our family and black folk or whatever. But as you said, Brother Forecast, they're selectively cooning, selectively coonossery. They're not thorough. They're very diffuse. They're not all in. It's like trying to ride two horses and get to the same destination at once. No, it's going to be very difficult to ride two horses. As Sister Cassandra said so well, that literally, if you don't have a game plan, an exit plan, for lack of a better term, not just to exit their physical country, but exit everything. Okay, exit their economy, exit their form of so-called healthcare. I'm talking about if you do not have, like Brother Kamal Cambone had, an exit plan to get the hell away from them, then there'll be more than just selective cooning. They'll be cooning for everybody, Brother Forecast, because they'll have no other choice. So anyways, I just wanted to say peace and definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate you, my brother. Oh yeah, and that's what I wanted to say too, because that was my point. Because they said it in the video that I was gonna play, and my brother said it too, that we gotta work with what we have. Well, the question is, what do we have? You know what I'm saying? And obviously, it ain't self dignity or self pride and self respect or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because what we do have that we can work with is a bunch of black schools, a bunch of black businesses, a bunch of black stuff. We don't have to take what we get. Like, what the hell are you? You ain't no. That's like a damn battered woman. Well, you know what I'm saying? He ain't beat me yesterday, so I gotta take that. I gotta appreciate he ain't beat me yesterday. You know
I'm
how
sorry.
weak that shit is. Like,
Hell out to the day before.
Yeah, Brother Forecast, I'm sorry for interrupting, but I got to say, that was one thing I wanted to bring up. Whenever I hear somebody say you have to work with what you have, and if that's all you got, like you said, the battered wife syndrome, well, these are individuals, if they were piloting a plane, I would go ahead and walk, because there's a lot of other folks that they don't look at it. It's a defeatist principle. Like, well, this is all we can get, that we're going to have to work. No, I'm going to grab more. Okay, my first agenda is, if this is all I got, okay, I'm getting more. Who do I have to kill, or who do I have to beat over the head to get what I need to get? Okay, so therefore, well, this is all you got. No, that's not enough for me. And when I say me, I'm not talking personally me. I'm saying for black folks in general. That's not enough. Black folks should take everything and then some, and never go ahead and relegate them to a battered wife of, well, if this is all we got, this is what we need to work with. It's kind of like that statement that you hear a lot of folks say, well, you have to meet the folks where they are, so you can't talk intellectual. You have to kind of meet them where they are. No, okay, I'm not out here to teach grown children. No, if you can't get a book and understand no matter how loquacious I get, if you cannot understand my vernacular because you just want me to go on your level, no, I don't go down and wrestle with pigs because I'll get dirty as they are. You come up to my level. Okay, it's a defeatist principle. When I hear folks say, well, you got to work with what you got. Well, you know how many folks didn't have, but they went out and made it anyways? Afghanistan, Vietnam, China, India, all these other countries were so-called third world countries didn't have the amount of velocity of capital going through their hands in the 90s like black folk. Black folk had twice as much velocity of capital, money going through their hands as Koreans. Koreans didn't sit back and go, well, all we got to do, we're going to work with what we got, because we in the hood. No, you had so much, black folks had so much opportunity. But what happened? They got, as you said earlier, they got comfortable. It was like, well, we don't need freedom and, we don't need protest, whatever. We just want comfort. And they got it. Okay. And comfort comes with a cost. And that cost is a very high cost. It's the cost of getting nothing done and complaining about it 20 years later. The bottom line is I'm glad you said that, Brother Forecast, because I hear that all the time. But it's from folks that are very defeatist. They're folks that don't go all in life. They're very myopic in terms of their, I shouldn't even just say nearsighted. They have no sight whatsoever in terms of the goal. It's more like, well, whatever winds take them, wherever their destination is, that's where they'll be comfortable the most. No, I'm going to go through whether it's a tornado and I'm going to get to my goal. Okay, it's no way somebody's going to tell me, well, this is all you got. You just need to work. No, if that's all I got, I'm gonna make what I need, and I'm gonna grab somebody else's. Okay, and that somebody else is going to be someone who's competing against me, like Brad and Becky and Fing Lu and Apu and Gomez and everyone else. I will take theirs too, and then if that's not enough, I'll take it from whoever they know, because it's a thing of black folks, unfortunately, to settle. I don't settle. Okay, that's one thing I'll never do is settle. Okay, I will go until the individual I'm competing with is no longer here. That's all I care about. As long as they're not around. And I was able to cut their throat to get what I needed. Cool. And if that's not enough, find out their dog, their cat, their goldfish, or whoever their family or their friends are, and I'll take that too from them. Anyways, Brother Forecast, I'm gonna let you guys go. I do appreciate it.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. When you start talking about, oh, take what I can, like, we gotta work with what we got. That's defeated mindset. Like, that's me. We already defeated. We got to eat this chitlins because that's all we can get now. You know what I'm saying? We best not make no hassle or whatever. That's why it sound to me when people say we got to work with what we got. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, number one, that is ridiculous. Like, first of all, if they're gonna send everybody back, so what, they gonna have all black people back on the continent of Africa, like with all the resources and all? That's not gonna happen. But it, anyway, man, that's, to me, like, see, this, it shows where we are as a people when we start talking about, oh, well, we got to work with what we got. When in reality, if what we got to work with is way more. That's why we got to start valuing who we are and what we have way more than that. You know what I'm saying? Because what we got to work with is not the scraps. You know what I'm saying? We not some damn dog or whatever. You know what I'm saying? We not some, oh, well, we only get the scraps because they ain't never gonna do like. And this is my only point to my brother, because he would agree with me when I'd be like, well, we ain't gonna do nothing because they didn't kill Malcolm X. But that sounds the same to me when we say, well, we got to work with what we can get because they ain't never gonna. Well, if they ain't never gonna do nothing, why would you do it for them? You know what I'm saying? If we ain't never gonna have it, then nobody gonna have it. How about that? You know what I'm saying? If we gonna die, how about everybody dies then? You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna be the only one. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And like, I'm sorry, but that's how war works. Like, you talking about the president of Venezuela or whatever. I mean, I ain't gonna say that black people, but or even my brother, because he talked about it. But when the president of Haiti, this is what America does. Duh. Like, Europeans are psychopaths. They kill and they take and steal and all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do. So what we have to work with is, number one, our hands. You know what I'm saying? You knock their ass out. Number two, your brain. You know what I'm saying? You outsmart them. Number three, your damn wallet. You know what I'm saying? You make sure you do this. Anyway, but maybe we should start defining what we have to work with. But when we start saying we should work with what we got, because the scraps is not enough. You know what I'm saying? So,
well said. Well said. Yes.
Yeah. And you know what it is? It's called bitch assness. You know what I'm saying? And this is how black people got enslaved 3 times in the last 1,000 years, about to be 4 times in the last 1,000 years. And consider even over there, Y'all about to be we all gonna be enslaved, consider. You might as well come on back, get your job back, and give up that
No, sir.
retirement.
No, sir. I'm gonna enjoy. I'm gonna sit on my beach and watch
Ain't no
the
more,
world.
ain't no more beaches in the morning. Ain't no going to the beach every day. Come on back to the office.
No, sir. I'm waiting. I'm gonna just enjoy where I am and just watch the show. That's why I'm just watching the show.
Well, anyway, like I said, we only got like 8 minutes in. We're gonna get back to the history part next time. And the only other thing I want to say is I don't be making this stuff up. Like I guess what I say it sound outrageous because I put it in simple terms. It sounds outrageous, but actually like history is repeating itself over and over. You know what I'm saying? People like get this like think of a different thing. If you put yourself back in 1824, you would think of it as a certain kind of way, you know what I'm saying? But it's not so different than it is today. Do you know that slaves got paid money? Like I'm pretty sure people didn't know that, you know what I'm saying? Like not slaves, period, but I'm just saying there were slaves, period, some slaves that got paid money, you know what I'm saying? And it was the same thing, you know what I'm saying? And the only difference between us and slaves is we might make like $10 more an hour than they made, you know what I'm saying? And we don't recognize that, you know. So like the only thing I'm trying to show you when we talk about history is that it's repeating itself. Like um what Trump did, a president did in the 1800s, you know what I'm saying? Like this is not anything new, you know what I'm saying? Like the politicians like Reagan did this, you know what I'm saying? Like cuz Sidra and MG2 is old enough to remember Reagan, you know what I'm saying? And like this isn't like Europeans aren't creative, you know. So like, but anyway, I'm gonna keep rambling. It's gonna be too long. So I appreciate y'all for listening, and I am ashamed of y'all for listening to this one as opposed to when we talk about positive stuff. You know what I'm saying? So y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. But I do appreciate y'all for listening and stuff like that. So shouts out to everybody that came on here. Shouts out to y'all. Shouts out to you, Considra, for coming on here. We're gonna be back Wednesday, probably with the
All right.
history thing, unless you got another topic you want to talk about.
History is good. I think we need that more than anything else.
Yeah. So shouts out to everybody listening. And as always, man, we have got to start standing for something, or we're gonna keep falling for anything.
Peace, family.